here. Come to act. Catch this tide. Hey, to me! Time to feed. Axe flies! Side by side! Yes!
Meatball! Meatball!
Yes!
Hey, Meatball!
Who? Axe like!
Tide Hunter, more like Dead Hunter.
I'll have my vengeance yet! Conquer!
What else has made it to our top 10? But I'm more interested in your opinion over there, panel. We got a new one with Rich. Boys, what was your favorite short film contest this year?
I actually almost cried when the courier got shot with that arrow. I almost cried there. It was a big IAI moment for me, but we definitely did enjoy them here. We got a brand new panel to start off this next series. And guys, this is one of the series that I think we're probably the most excited for today. We have two Rockstar teams about to go head to head. We're going to have EG and we're going to have Secret. What do you think of this matchup?
I mean, it's the two big names right from the two big regions. This is what a lot of the viewers are going to be staying up for, you know, watching at some ungodly hour in America for this. Secret versus EG.
Yep.
And what's going to happen? EG looking a bit shaky in the groups, but you got to remember this team, if you look at sort of the TI progress, it's pretty good. Last year, they came third. So who's not to say that they're going to be able to push it and make that upper bracket run? Sure, Secret looked flawless in the group stage, but in the past, we've seen a flawless group stage from Secret turn into not so great results on the main stage.
Yeah, and I look back at probably my favorite series of like all year was the MDL Major Secret versus EG, I believe was it upper bracket finals, I believe, and it was a 3-game series.
Yes,
it was just an absolutely amazing series, and I hope we get another one.
Yeah, definitely. And I know today I actually got to see EG arrive to the venue. We were all kind of getting here when they did. They were in the bus. They were getting riled up. I actually got a little bit of insight into their ritual to get ready. Sumail was blasting Danger Zone. Arteezy was actually, he had his headphones on, and everybody started yelling at him to get his headphones off. Somebody said, hey, let's let Arteezy get in the zone. And Sumail said, there's only one zone, the Danger Zone.
Did that actually happen?
That actually happened. Yeah, that actually happened.
That sound like a Sumail thing to do.
Sumail, I asked Sumail in the interview after. The question is, do you think it's going to be a winner's interview, or do you think we're actually going to see Sumail maybe having one of those losers' interviews?
I think it's going to be a 3-game series at the minimum. Obviously, a lot of people are leaning Secret, especially how they did in the group stage. Yeah. But Secret always looks good. For pretty much ever since the organization has existed, they've always been good coming into TI. And then the best they've ever done is 5th/6th last year. And you'd think that a team that has such consistent performance over the year would be able to have a better showing at TI, but it just never seems to happen.
I also do want to say, when we look at both of these squads, we have some potential to have 2-time champs, right? Yep. And there are not many people, some of them, who actually could go for that 2-time. They were knocked out of the tournament already, but now we need to actually take a look at some of these teams who are going to get thrown in to the Danger Zone. Evil geniuses are now ready to take the stage. Oh, the fans here in China are excited for this squad. And keep in mind, we do have the potential for a two-time champ. They want to be able, with this roster, to finally grab a win as well. They've come close before. They're no strangers to the TI stage. But this is going to be a big test for them early in this tournament because their opponents are definitely going to be tough ones in secret. And as Grant did mention, this is not a matchup that we are strangers to. We have seen it before. Let's take a look at their opponents. Folks, if you asked a lot of people when they were actually headed to TI who they thought was going to be able to take TI9, Secret was a team that they would say very, very quickly. Taking the stage right now is going to be that squad. Hoping to pull it down. Puppy going to be leading them out right now. We're very excited to see what they're going to be able to do here at TI, playing up against EG, but also we're excited to hear what they have to say about this series and about TI as a whole. Luckily for us, Casey had an opportunity to talk to Team Secret.
Mirwan, have you ever been pregnant?
No.
Casey, have you ever been pregnant?
I have.
We got the questions answered. We can leave.
I'm gonna need my seat back.
No, you don't.
No?
We'll keep it this way.
Okay, fine. I want to hear a little bit about how the team has evolved because last year at TI8, that was the best finish that you've had. So I want to know from you what has changed and how do you feel coming into TI9? What do you think makes everything feel a little bit different?
I guess the difference between now and before would be we like each other more, I would say. We don't really have any personal issues between each other. We just talk about games, and it's easier.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah. Everybody understands what they're supposed to be doing in a team. We have a really good chemistry together, and I've been kind of like searching for that exact chemistry between players so they kind of like mesh. But like in the past, I've had a lot of issues with people just wanting to take over. Like, you know, it just happens naturally. You know, Kuro wanted to take us over, so like it just gets weird between people. And like there's a lot, there's Fly perhaps who wants to take over. There's a lot of people taking over here. It just gets clashy, it just gets annoying. So people start hating each other and all that stuff. But that's only like related to me. But a lot of the times you won't find out until you play with a team member. And then you understand like, oh, he wants to be the most important guy.
How would you say that Puppy has changed as a leader in the time that you've played for him?
I think when I first joined Secret was, I would say he wasn't that good at first. He wasn't the captain of the team for a long time, and sometimes he doubted himself too. He wasn't sure about stuff, and he needs to gain more experience back into his blood, like knowing what's the best, you know. Sometimes I believe in him, so I just kept on playing with him.
You agree with that?
Well, you know, tough times during that time, you know.
Yeah.
TI6 wasn't fun.
I know.
Yeah, a lot of doubt in that era of time. I mean, Dota's our life. It starts oozing into everything you do. You don't succeed in Dota, you're wrong in Dota, you're wrong in life.
You tweeted in all caps at Ice Frog a few months ago.
Yeah.
Did that make you feel better? I feel like he...
It actually does.
Yeah?
Sometimes you actually just want to shout at the gods, you know, like...
That's true.
What is this shit, you know? You don't know.
Exactly.
Like...
I want to switch a little bit to how you do think that you've been playing this season. Specific to VP, you both are neck and neck as far as how you're doing in the ratings with DPC. So how are you different? What do you think is the biggest reason that you can be more successful than VP at TI?
We can be more successful because we can just be better than them. And it's just weird because like in Dota, it's if you're correct, you win. If you're not, you don't. So in order to win TI, something magical needs to happen. Like everything needs to fit, everything needs to align. For now, I feel like we have a lot of those alignments going in our favor, and that's why we can probably be better than VP.
Pretty much everybody we've talked to has said that TI seems to be different for a lot of reasons. It's bigger than all the other tournaments, but also the mentality of it seems to be different, where anything can happen for any team. Knowing that you're #1 in DPC coming in, does that mean anything to you at all because it's TI, or do you use that as a source of confidence as you start group stage?
Nah, it's like it doesn't matter. We've all been there. You know, we've seen it many times before. Being a dominant team in the year does not mean that you will win TI. So we don't care.
Yeah, it's true. You might be a major winner, but when it comes to TI, you might be nothing, you know. You never know.
Yeah, we're losers. Only if we win. We're not losers. Second place, you're a loser. Good night, everyone.
What is this, late night? Jesus.
Good night, everyone.
Yay!
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Thank you, guys.
All jokes aside, I think that that's one of those interviews where you actually look at it and you hear a lot. I mean, you straight up hear the idea of doubt creeping in after being a player that's seen so much success. And that's something that I feel like is so crucial to somewhat rebuild, figure out what was going wrong, taking that experience and then building up a new empire, a new dynasty, if you will. And let's talk about some of the members that do make that up, Tsunami.
Yeah, I think the hipster choice that I want to talk about is Nisha, because, you know, Yapzor, Puppy, Mid1, Zai, they all have storied histories. Nisha, on the other hand, he's a bit of a newcomer, and I love it whenever Puppy takes these European carry proteges and he tries to mold them. Before Nisha joined Team Secret, his share of prize pool winnings, he had made around $25,000 USD, and he'd been playing since 2015. And since joining Team Secret, he's made like over $300,000. So it's all about if you can find this potential and you can just mold it and harness it, that's what makes Puppy such a great captain.
Yeah, and I feel like that's one of the things that's always talked about is the idea that he can find this new talent and foster this new talent. But then when we hear everything that is going on in that interview, the idea of figuring out that right team chemistry, finding a player who doesn't necessarily want to take over or take that leadership role. Do you think that it's more important for a player like Puppy to actually foster new talent because that new talent goes, okay, I see what you can do. I'm going to follow the marching.
Well, I think so, right? We saw from that interview, as you say, you know, Puppy, he likes that dynamic where he is sort of the powerful figure and he's able to bring people in, sort of train them up. But at the same time, what I thought was really interesting about that interview was the fact that, you know, Mid1 was sat there with Puppy and he was still able to sort of talk about the vulnerabilities and reflect on some of the tougher times in the past, which I feel like in previous iterations of Secret, I can't imagine Puppy's teammates sitting there next to him and, you know, calling him out. But it just shows sort of how the dynamic has changed and that nowadays Secret is, they've sort of humbled themselves, and I think that really shows in the group stage in the way that they're playing, the way that they're able to take Nisha, you know, so this quiet carry player, and even given the confidence in some of the games in the groups to put him in the mid lane. Say, hey, well, Mid1, we're going to step you to the side. Nisha comes in on his sniper. We've seen him in previous lands do it on the Deucer. They have that flexibility, and Nisha, as you say, a new player, is already showing that, you know, Puppy's confidence has sort of driven down to him. It's this new dynamic, a new level across the board between Secret, which is bringing them to a new height.
Yeah, and I want to go back 100% Puppy thing. He is the leader. Like, we actually talked to him at MDL Paris, and he said he is the leader. I mean, that's how you lead a team. Like, you don't need all those voices in the back. Like, he is the leader. If you don't trust in him, you don't trust in the team.
He had mentioned that basically what he had said in the interview, that sometimes Kuro felt like leading, sometimes Fly felt like leading. And his theory was, why do you want to lead? Why don't you just help me become a better leader?
Exactly.
I think that that's really important, but for people who maybe haven't gotten to watch as much Dota and want to see behind the curtain a little bit more, when you talk about a game like Dota, obviously everybody needs to be chattering. You need to be hearing information. You need eyes all over the place. You need to be communicating with everybody. How does a dynamic like that really work for a leader? If it is an in-game shot caller, Owen, like how does that necessarily work? How do you actually rely on your other teammates to diffuse information as well?
Well, I think at the same time, less information is also more information when you talk about that. It's for Puppy, he finds these players that, they're not going to say too much. They're not going to be screaming, get Roshan, calling out all these plays that sometimes are necessary, or sometimes, it's almost certainly felt between the team members. It doesn't need to go spoken.
I
and
think,
players like Nisha are going to nail that perfectly. You don't see Nisha on the cams yelling his head off the whole game. He's going to barely say a few words, but that lack of communication is also the right amount of communication.
He just wants to, Puppy wants to find something he can just wind up, and then he just lets them on their way. You wind up mid one, you give him the potential, and he's going to take over the game. Same thing with Nisha.
Yeah, but I would say going back to the talking, if you look at, this is one of those games when I look at the coaches, right? I think MSS said it best, the Goons. You have Bulba and you have Sunby. These two are some of like the oldest kind of voices in NA Dota, and now they're going to head-to-head. And if you probably told him that back at like TI3 era or something, Bull would have been like, no, Sunby's one of the worst players I've ever met, and now he's like, he's on stage with one of the best teams. Like, it is what it is.
Well, I want to take it a step further as well, Tsunami. When we actually look at these squads, they are no strangers to each other. A lot of these players have had interactions with each other, not only as opponents.
They've been on each other's teams many a time. Yeah. There's a lot of crossover between these two squads.
Bulba was a player.
Bulba was a player, yeah. Everything like Fly, S4, and then on the side of Secret, Zai, obviously your favorite North American export, pretty much.
I mean, Zai, trust me, like Zai, EG is still super close with Zai. Zai is just one of those guys, like, you actually can't hate. You watch his stream, this guy is just like the nicest guy,
unless
the high-skilled
you listen
players.
to his music and you don't want to listen to theremins.
All right, this guy's over here listening to top 40 radio hits.
That's a very cultured sound.
Sure. And EG's a very cultured team. We talk a lot about Secret, we talked a lot about the crossover, but these are your boys, Grant.
Whoa. No, I'm just kidding. EG, oh, for sure. I mean, I've known these guys for a long time. I knew Arteezy probably back 2008 when he was losing middle matchups to 747 and stuff. And, I mean, you just look. I mean, he has grown so much, Arteezy specifically. And, I mean, it's hard, right? Because he's pretty much carried NA Dota, like, on his back from, like, a Reddit point of things where if they do bad, Arteezy's the one getting blamed. And it's tough being that way.
Did I ever tell you my Arteezy story?
No, you didn't, Rich. Let's hear it.
So we got a little bit of time before the game gets started. My first Dota event that I went to as a fan, I was going to watch Dota, and I was a huge fanboy of Fear. All I wanted to do was get a picture with Fear.
Been there.
And I finally find him. I walk up to him. I'm like, "Hi, sir. Can I have a picture?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay, let's do it." I'm taking the picture, and all of a sudden, this dude puts his arm around me and takes me away from Fear. And I have a picture with this dude in Fear, and I'm livid. I'm so mad at this dude. And I show my friend, I'm like, this dude ruined my picture with Fear. It was Arteezy.
I mean,
I'm still a little upset about it. I really wanted that picture with Fear. Arteezy came in here, ruined the picture for me.
I mean, to be fair, Fear is a TI winner, So
yes, that's true.
If you're a fan of Fear, I've got a picture to show you after the panel.
Don't worry about it.
Ask to see picture of Fear. The other thing that I want to see, it's going to be this game. We're getting ready to actually jump in. This is one of the most anticipated matchups of the day. It is going to be EG going up against Secret. Two front runners to potentially take the entire tournament, going to be going head-to-head. The loser of this drops down to that elimination bracket where it's really going to get saucy. Now, I do want to actually jump in right now and see what is going to happen. The players are now ready. Let's see who's going to take this one.
Team Secret versus Evil Geniuses. Game 1.
That's right, as Rich pointed out, this has got to be one of the most anticipated matchups, Evil Geniuses versus Team Secret, and what better man to be able to break down the strategic element of the game with BSJ and I than PPD. Peter, you've had a long history in North American Dota. You've been heralded as one of the great captains to be able to lead teams. You heard Puppy's philosophy on leadership. You've heard his experience, having personalities who try and take over the leadership role. Have you ever experienced that?
Some of the players I relate to the most are captains. Unfortunately, I'll never have the chance to play with them because we're too similar of guys. And I think Nisha, right, coming into Team Secret, he's this this quiet youngster who doesn't have a lot of previous biases. Sure, he's been playing for a while, but never at this kind of a level. So he comes in, stays quiet, hits his neutral creeps, carries the game. He doesn't have all these previous biases. He doesn't want to be a leader. He just wants to listen.
that's the kind of player you're looking for, right? To
Sometimes,
bring under your wing.
if that's who you need, and that's what Puppy needs on his team. And getting behind a captain and working together as a team, having one direction throughout the game, will take you, very, very far.
Talking in the middle of a game, it can really convolute the communications, and sometimes you just need that guy, like you said, to be silent, do his part, and you just know what to expect from him mainly. Like, there can be a lot done in Dota that needs to be left unsaid. Like, that's how I look at it, and that's why there's a nice balance of these quiet players, reserved, as well as these vocal captains.
And the reason why we practice is so that eventually, the captain's philosophy about how to play Dota becomes second nature to the players on the team. And then sometimes the captain, he doesn't even have to do the leading, as long as the players who are speaking up, are on the same page. When everybody's on different pages, that's when things get crazy.
Do you guys look at Team Secret going into this tournament as they are the front runners and everybody's
team at this tournament?
They had a rough start to this group stage.
That's when things get crazy. On the same page, when everybody's on different pages.
Point where they know these heroes well enough and they're able to just be like, oh, I'll take a little bit of that strategy, a little bit of that one, and apply it to our own game. I think I like their opening here. You have Leshrak, a hero that is flex.
An Ench killer. This Ench hero is super powerful. 6, all of a sudden you just have to leave the lane again. Good Ench killer, but I think maybe the Lesh is even better. And like we said, the Lesh is a little bit more flex. You don't exactly know what role or lane it's going in. For EGs, it's one of Sumail's best mid heroes, and as they are on second pick, they're going to be able to hold that final pick to decide if Lesh is going to be mid for Sumail, or if they're going to maybe put it on support or a side lane or somewhere else.
They're going to be able to get that final twist that could surprise.
Deal with it. It's just a hero that naturally pushes out their lane and then will easily rotate quickly to that Enchantress, where it's him +1 is enough to threaten the Enchantress. And I think that's a core part of Enchantress, where if she can't play the map with one hero missing the way she wants to play, or maybe she has to itemize 1 or 2 items like a hood or a Force Staff, it just makes her game a little less luxurious. But the fact is, there still could be a position 5 Enchantress. That's like the power of this hero as a first pick, the flex idea.
I would not expect that to come out in this big of a game. I've played some 5 Ench in my days, but this hero is just so powerful in the offlane that he just demands attention. And with the Shaker, he's going to have that early fissure block to get his lane back. I think he's once Ench gets level 3, she just becomes unkillable with the 2 points in either Untouchable or Nature's Attendance.
And now we do have our 5 position from Team Secret. Chen with the synergy of the Enchantress as well off that healing amplification.
And because Ench is so strong in lane, it's eventually going to free up the Shaker to start rotating throughout the map, kind of having free reign to get summoned around by Chen. Maybe they'll do mid. Or this last pick from EG, with because they kind of have to expose their mid on this 8-9 pick.
I think they're going to have some.
There's also an Ench Slayer, right, in the mid game. We also have seen Windrunner be ran as a 4 position. I know Crit has played this hero quite a bit. We've seen these archer type heroes, these Maranas, Windrunner, Lina, Leshrac. These are they 4? Are they mid? Can't really tell. I would guess that usually the heroes you pick later in the draft end up being core. So I would suspect that this is going to be Sumail playing the Wind Ranger, and then they're going to save Arteezy's hero for the 22 pick. This is something that EG loves to do. They all in Arteezy, give him the hard carry, see if he can take it.
From your experience with these teammates, like why do you think that is? Why aren't we seeing the last pick for Sumail? Like, give him the ultimate 1v1 matchup.
Maybe he's just such a highly skilled player, he can handle any matchup they throw at him.
10 seconds.
I want to bring attention to the fact that Chen can get all these magic aura creeps.
Yeah.
That ET reduces your base magic resistance with a spirit, and so far with Evil Genius's lineup, other than I guess Retaliate and kind of Diabolic Edict, but that's not really enough. They have nothing that penetrates. That it's all magic damage for the most part. Even Wind Ranger ends up building Javelin Maelstrom with the focus fire. I just think they might have some serious damage issues on EG in the mid to late game against heroes like Enchantress with the Chen creeps. Tiny's pretty beefy. The problem with Team Secret's lineup is they don't have that hard one, and that's what they're gonna obviously pick for Nisha in this last
It's coming,
spread.
don't worry.
Yeah.
It's coming, don't worry. They picked Tiny as a response to seeing the mid Wind Ranger. Tiny has high base damage, therefore he's very good and capable at out-CSing lower damage, 600 range heroes.
Yeah, and he can also do a lot of damage through Windrun.
Lots of burst, definitely. And we're gonna see a last pick for Nisha with the hard carry as last pick. And this is kind of a weird spot for actually Secret, because I don't know, they kind of have to pick this hard carry that's gonna, at least they see the offlaner. He's gonna have a good lane against Centaur to maybe do a Juggernaut, something like that. And then EG is gonna be able to pick a harder scaling late game carry. So it's gonna be up to mid one and Zai on this Enchantress, I would guess, to really push the tempo and put some pressure on Arteezy, make sure he can't scale into the late game.
That's got to be a hard balance to take, right? When you don't have the ultimate last pick, trying to choose like how much of a late game are you going to have with your carry, while simultaneously making sure you don't do it overboard and just get run at.
Just depends how good you think you can do against the offlane. Right now, I think you would guess it's going to be Lesh Centaur in your offlane. You've got a Chen there to back you up, which he gets a couple creeps. Pick a hard enough carry to where you don't get crushed in lane, but that you also put enough pressure on EG to where they think they need to pick a really hard carry, and then hopefully your offlane of Ench Shaker can put pressure on that hard carry so it doesn't have a great game. And Enchantress is no carry wants to lane against Enchantress.
And you made it sound like because the Chen, you could almost get a little bit greedier with your last pick in carry, and Evil Geniuses actually take just that. They ban away the Spectre. What are the greedier laners you could go for?
Yeah, I think EG could be maybe set to deal with this Spectre quite well. I think Lesh and, Spectre kind of likes the people stunning her and going on her and doing damage.
What do you think is more likely from Team Secret, GSJ? All right, either one.
No, you go ahead. Let's hear from the
People probably want to hear you. People probably want to hear your damage or your perspective anyways. I was going to say they need a damage soaker, and that's exactly what they got in this last pick.
Full tempo.
I like the Spectre ban because they have, I really think Team Secret's threatening this mid-game timing of damage problems for EG. I think Team Secret's first volley of items is more powerful than EG's, and once they get past that initial volley of items, I think EG EG's lineup will then possess enough damage. But when you have this early game tempo, the natural tower pressure from the Chen and Enchantress, now you couple it with the Wraith King, a hero that kind of sets up the rotations naturally. He's just going to be hitting creeps all game.
It's going to be a fast game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I think Sven might be a little too slow even if he goes for the Midas build on R2.
At least they didn't go with the super hard carry.
Yeah, I like this build pick better than, like you said, a super hard carry.
You guys are leading towards one aspect coming out from Evil Geniuses. Does Sven solve enough problems?
I want to see EG prove that they can keep up with the pace of a team like Team Secret, and Team Secret is threatening a really fast pace. So I think Team Secret's got it.
Secret.
All right, well, with such a historical matchup, Evil Geniuses versus Team Secret, what better man to go to than the man who could give you all the stats between these two teams? Last word with Alan.
You know I love my early game stats, and I think that is once again going to be the key in this matchup. All eyes naturally on Sumail in that mid lane. He is the only player in the tournament averaging over 2.5 kills at the 12-minute mark, the tail end of that laning phase. But I actually think it's going to be tower pressure early on that will be decisive. EG turned around a 1-5 start in their groups. They have killed 12 towers at this tournament before the 10-minute mark. That's more than any other team, only given up 4. Secret have a 4-4 record that category, tower differential of 0. Going to be huge. Secret are going with an Enchantress for the first time in the last 2 patches, but they're going to try and shore up those lanes behind the puppy Chen. 17-11, that is the most wins of any player hero combo ever at the International. 2 Titans. Miracle, take it away.
Thank you so much, Alan. And yes, Trent, historical data, historical teams. Let's make some history. We're in the upper bracket TI9, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, full season of DPC, all these points. A lot of things in the past, I believe, is what you're all discussing. Who cares about the past? It means absolutely nothing. All that matters is how you perform at TI and the upper bracket. That's a nice place to do it because you want to ride that wave for as long as you can.
Oh, it's a very nice place to be, definitely. And already these two teams, again, we talked about it during the panel. EG barely able to sneak in there right towards the end of their group stages. They made a quick run in the last couple of days. Secret there the entire time pretty much. And already early on, mid one, able to pick himself up a little ward there.
Right off the bat. So this draft coming out, largely agreeing with most of what the panel had to say. Right? They're discussing things like the timing and everything, things looking quite scary. And Alchemist, I feel like, where you're like kind of protecting that pick later on. Like, let's say you pick the AA, then you can pick the Alch later. Now, in this case, you take that Ench early, and no one really wants to pick Chen, I don't think, versus Ench, right? Very annoying to play against because the enchant, so they managed to snag up both of them and get themselves a very fast-looking game here from Secret.
Well, mid one coming in to say hi, and yeah, that feels like it's going to be the story of this matchup, really, is how well can EG absorb this pressure that's coming in from Secret, and already Zai giving his buddy the business as they head through the river.
A couple of good friends duking it out up there, but the stun easily secures the bounty for Arteezy to give him the 2-2. So a lot of mysteries in the draft, right, for EG. You didn't quite know exactly where they're going to be laning these heroes, wondering who's going to be taking up that Leshrac. Such a flexible, probably the most flexible hero right now in the meta. As, ooh, what a deny there from mid one. And that is the frustrating thing versus the Tiny. It feels like even when you're casting your spells, trying to secure CS, it's not enough.
Yeah, the hero is just so hard to deal with, and a second one whiffs off the mark there.
It's getting warmed up.
That's, I mean, this is really one of those matchups that you could just watch it the entire time, it feels like, and there'd be something interesting to talk about, because probably 2 of the best mid players in the world right now, and from a historical perspective as well.
Yeah, but on top of that, you also have a lot of stuns on the side lanes too, so opportunities for kills galore. And we get some shenanigans up top there with Yaps. We're now pulling the creep wave too to help secure the Enchantress, who just, of course, needs all the help she can get the lane if she wasn't already annoying enough for you.
Yeah, Zai definitely just keeps the pressure on Arteezy, and he is going to have to come back behind the tower to try and farm this one up. Maybe connect it over with the creep wave as well, so that way the lane doesn't push too far underneath the tower, and they'll see if they can get a little bit aggressive here. Zai just having the heals, so does not have that reduction in attack speed from the Untouchable, and Fly gonna play intercept.
Yeah, he's getting as much as he can out of this, right? Because he's like, I know the second she gets Untouchable, I'm kind of useless.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try it for now.
Giving each other the high fives as well.
He's doing the math. He's like, all right, let me see here.
Yeah, it's time to get the heck away. And Arteezy will come in, play intercept. They do draw some aggro there again, but it won't be that big of an issue. Mid lane, Avalanche and Split Earth traded off between the two mids. And this is all to the tune of getting a little bit more for that Earthshaker. That battle that was going on up there top towards Zai, which is what you normally see from Team Secret, giving a lot of priority towards YapzOr, who has moved in towards mid.
Well, we do have a haste rune on that bottom spot, though. It is scouted, however, by that ward, of course. EG might even know that Crit has been seen with this as well because of how mid one was so easily able to de-ward.
Definitely. They should be aware. The wraparound is coming right now from YapzOr. It's Sumail. Kind of have an inkling that something's happening. They won't be able to get it, but does at least push back for a moment.
Yeah, that's a giant observer ward. Making things pretty easy for Sumail, but you still have to respect it, right? I mean, obviously YapzOr knows that he's seasoned at this point, but he still has to play a certain way as long as he's going to stand there.
And now another grab of the creep wave back behind the tower. You know, at various points throughout this year, it's felt like Zai's just been the best player in the world.
Yeah.
And I think that he's still been able to have a really good tournament here at TI, keeping on that impressive streak that we've seen.
And you see S4 is getting punished because Crit's going for stacks right now. Gonna go for a double off to the side to try and propel his left track, and he will be successful, nice and easy. So a little bit of gold saved up in the dire triangle at the moment.
Yes, definitely. And another wraparound coming. The fish was going to land. Can Crit come in to save his buddy in time? He is still going for the Edict, the walk away fairy fire. Is it enough? Not quite. Actually turning back in. Sumail, thought he was getting a little bit too far forward there, but might be able to instead go on to mid one. Looks like they won't be able to get that much more damage as the Tiny knowing the limits of his hero. But yeah, this is kind of rough. Doesn't have a bottle charge either for mid one.
Yeah, Crit's just kind of hanging around here for a little bit here. Now Fly's rotating through. Going to see that YapzOr is also still lurking. And we get some lonely offlaners.
Yeah, this is weird. This is sort of going back to the old days when you had, 2v2 mid, basically. Oh, trying to break the Sal, and they do manage to get it. So Sal broken as soon as they pull it back out.
That is nice. That's an empty ball, and so he needs this top rune.
Sleep comes out. They have the Splitter. The After is in. Mid one might just be going down. They try and find the kill, and in fact, then they get it. The Avalanche barely able to save it. The pulling back under tower. They try and turn the fight, but there's already there. And now pulling back in that Spirit Power. Crit able to get it.
Oh, I got a little worried. I thought maybe with a high five he's gonna run into trouble, but Crit will bail them out, and that was all because of trying to secure the top room. Right?
Yeah.
They want to ensure he's not gonna get the ball. You just canceled the Smoke's gonna come back now. He's got some regen to help out YapzOr too, but great start there for EG in the mid lane.
4.5 minutes. Oftentimes people say that these early game kills don't end up mattering that much. Still, Obvi's a great way to propel that Lesh forward, and as the stun comes out, S4 just going to TP back towards Shrine, where it will come off cooldown very shortly.
This is nice too. Make sure you get a stack, of course, for your Sven buddy.
Yeah. Or possibly the Lesh.
Do it.
Oh, he's got it.
There's a lot of pressure. This TI stage stacking, you know? Got this, guys.
Don't worry.
Hey, the check creeps were coming. He almost had some trouble.
Oh, that's fair enough. Well, that's 4 bounty runes, it looks like, for Secret.
Yeah, they were back stacking, I think, with several heroes right there. So, you know, when you do the map, that might work out okay for EG, or at least you're allocating your resources instead of spreading across the whole team with the bounty runes, you're pointing them at the target that you want.
Ah, that's a good point, yeah.
Unless they get stolen.
That would be tragic.
Yeah, you don't want that.
And we have seen a couple of instances where teams will just come in and drop ultis on supports just to clear up the stacks. Could be a moment. I would fully believe that YapzOr would echo a stack.
Definitely. That first Echo Slam, it's hard to get a lot of good use out of it. Crystal Maiden, Shadow Shaman, even stacking Ancients for the Serpent Wards.
Oh, mid one. You got to be a little bit careful. Fly is nearby. It is nighttime. The Stomp, it's going to connect now. And no rotations as of yet. They are bringing in the Earthshaker, but they don't manage to find the Split Earth. So mid one gets away from trouble that time. And Rune gonna spawn bottom as well. Man, unlucky for mid one so far on the runes.
They just have to deny it with the Chen instead. It was an invis.
Trading off those power shots, Crit's just not giving Ramona's notice. It really does feel like we're back to, 2v2 mid in a way almost. Keep on rotating in there towards the lane.
A lot of lurkers, a lot of hanger-oners here. Now, well, Sumail, he's got that arcane rune and he says, sorry, Sven. I'm gonna handle this. Because much like a cleave, right, this is a magic spell that doesn't take into account how many units it's dealing damage to. So it is just as efficient at clearing out these giant stacks.
Yeah, so solid. Takes it down, and Sumail gonna get a nice little boost of gold there. Again, as we mentioned, there are heroes on the side of Secret that could hypothetically move in and try and steal some of those away. Granted, none quite as effective as the Lesh or the Sven. But the hero that we haven't talked about all that much as of yet has been this Wraith King, who's kind of continued to farm up so far. 40 and 18 on him.
Oh, did they just get all 4 stacks? 1, 2. Oh, they got
gotta
3.
Look out down bottom as well. S4
kills are cool too.
Trying to get away from this one as the Fissure's going to land, and they will be able to run down at the Centaur, it looks like. So Nisha picking up a kill on top of having really solid CS in the lane stage.
So while they did that, though, they actually had 3 EG heroes all stacking camps inside that jungle.
Oh my
they
God.
almost got all 4. They missed 1 camp, but it does show you what they're trying to do in this game, right? Constant attention there while trying to keep these towers up as long as they can, because you don't want to lose control of this jungle. It is a big moneymaker for them.
Oh, inside, chasing down Fly now, going to give him the clap and then head away afterwards. So a little tip given over to Zai. YapzOr appreciating what his offlaner is doing.
They're trying to smoke up behind them, though.
This would be big if they could find it. RTZ looking for the opening. Let's spot out Puppy. Sumail is there as well. They're bringing in Zai and YapzOr, trying to get up close and personal. And PPD talked about this as the end killer. Can it work out here? Looks like it's just going to be running full time.
Oftentimes you only have enough for like that 1 burst this early on, so they hit the Chen first and said we have enough with that.
And all this movement does give Crit a little bit of time to himself in the lane. Level 4 now, getting a fair few bit of CS. Actually already has a Javelin. So Bassi Javelin could become a bit of an issue once that Focus Fire comes out.
Yeah, actually going to be effective at the level 6 if he wants it.
Oh, and that's managed to hit Sumail. Oh, the fissure. Well played. That could have been a kill.
Yeah, you've got the possibilities of going aggro with this Earthshaker and Enchantress by blocking people off for the easy Impetus kills, but also the defense when you have these telegraph setups that EG are relying on to hit that split Earth.
So, again, the defensive supports that you've got, at least somewhat. Earthshaker fulfills a dual role, but Chen later on with that Hand of God, gonna have to watch and make sure that EG don't commit too far if they hope to come out on top in an engagement.
Yeah, we're closing on it too, right? 10-minute mark. Should be a easy home pick up there for Puppy.
But so far, it really does feel like Secret is the one that are kind of making the moves around the map, while EG just trying to play a little bit more passively until they get into those first round of items. And this is to the benefit of Nisha, who's now sitting almost 1,000 gold ahead of Arteezy.
Yeah, and they're getting that tower knocked down too, so they're going to be able to invade into that top jungle area fairly easily.
All the creeps take down the building. Now, EG going to try and make their own move with S4 bottom. Does have 3 points up and retaliate, as well as the Stampede available.
And you thought Nisha was rich now. He's just getting that Midas too. He's got the maxed out skeletons. The faster he's attacking, the faster he's making a... And he's going to be spamming those boys with extra gold. Now TPing, not even going to walk from there because he wants to make sure he's getting these final kills and the stacks. Optimal efficiency here from Nisha.
Wraparound coming towards mid. As mid one wanted to find Fly, but Fly just going to keep this tower alive, killing off, slowing down those creeps from moving in. And this is nice too though, because Secret, it's not just taking those buildings, but it's Nisha getting farmed.
Yeah, not really having to be too involved, right? I mean, we just don't have that many kills, frankly, so I guess he's involved in 50% of the kills, but it doesn't feel like he's seen a whole lot of the enemy team so far this match.
No. And Zai gonna TP down bottom to hold off the pressure that's coming from there. Well, mid keeps farming in the mid lane, while Fly getting his levels as well. And kind of feeling like it's, again, one of those instances where sort of that, you know, no rush 15 minutes or so, where everybody kind of hangs out, gets into those Mana Midases, and then we wait and see where the first big rotations come, probably around defending towers.
It looks like they might be smoking up here now from EG. They don't have the 6 on the ET. There's his tome. Okay, so he's got it now.
This would be a perfect kill. This is absolutely perfect if they can get him. Mid
The question is, how do you lead it? You've only got 1 point in the shackle, so don't miss.
Oh, he does miss, and the stomp able to connect. They have the split Earth afterwards, and now running forward for him, but that fissure able to keep him alive with the Hand of God, the avalanche. It's not enough. Sumail gets the kill.
Yeah, cost them the Stampede too, but that's fine. Very worthy knockdown there. The only person probably a little bit better would be Nisha, but mid one has a very specific mid-game timing that he's trying to hit right here. And I would say he's a little underfarmed for his normal kind of tiny game, right? Trying to get into that blink.
Yeah, well, a lot of attention was placed on him very early on by EG. It felt like that was the hero that they wanted wanted to target and try and shut down early on so he couldn't get that ball rolling. I mean, it is something that's worth saying. If a Tiny gets ahead of the Lesh and just starts finding kill after kill after kill, game feels very tough for EG.
Yeah, Puppy up here. He's got the whole family together. Not going to break it up. You know, keeping the household as one. So the Centaurs will work as a unit to push this top lane. And kind of facilitating that dead lane role for his team. Probably going to get an invis rune here. Maybe a chance to set something up. Not a lot of sentries placed down this early in the match.
Yeah, so far, so good. EG looking on top of it. The biggest thing for me is that as this game goes later, I really feel like the supports of EG do more in the late game. You know, you compare that Wind Ranger and the other Titan to, I mean, a Chen really is the big one for me.
Yeah, of course, the Earthshaker, like, that's single-handedly, I can still win team fights for my team, but you can say the same thing about ET. And the Wind Ranger, she kind of almost moves from support. She doesn't really play, she plays more like a core in the mid and late game than she does as support.
Well,
to me, the real question is just going to be that Radiance on Nisha, right? When that comes, you have to then assess what EG have and if you can deal with it. Can they actually take fights when they're going to be versus that? Because that sounds pretty terrifying to me.
TZ walking for a little while. Over afterward. But it's
happy. I think I just heard him.
Ranger as well. Very. Literally just hanging out farming.
Yep.
And Secret 4 now. Getting closer towards that blink. We'll see if he decides to pick one up early. Immediate TP away. So there won't be a chance for a kill down bottom, but maybe some pressure for the tier 2. Sometimes we've seen this tier 2 tower get taken very early on.
Yeah, and with little defense too. So they have the retaliate. I think Fly's just gonna maybe back him up a little bit here. And they'll see if they can get a defense out of Secret in some rotations.
Yeah, either that or maybe make a smoke play of their own into EG's jungle.
Crit's playing the Vanguard right now, right? He's sitting at the top of the stairs, casting up some spells, trying to protect that tier 1 tower, but also putting himself in between Secret and Arteezy.
Looks like instead it's going to be EG that want to come and defend the tier 1 tower mid lane. After farming out the Secret jungle, Anisha keeping his farm up as well. Only about 800 gold away from that relic, getting closer to the Radiance.
Yeah, Sumail's TP was on cooldown, so he couldn't stay bottom and try and get a trade.
Toss back, far under tower. They have everything for him. Control coming out, and he gets the Stampede off, able to run away, finds the hook stop afterwards, trying to take down S4 lands. The Echo Slam doesn't do anything, and Arteezy jumps in, finds the catch for the kill. Oh man, Secret made a boo-boo as mid one also going to get ran down here. Can they find the stun and the kill? They will.
Crit Dota, that shackle is what saved that team fight for sure, right? That very clutch moment right where they got there, and the stop as well. But in combination, the two supports trying to help protect S4 there and make sure Secret wouldn't have a chance to get their full damage out there. So a dangerous looking push because of course they're playing fully without Nisha versus Sumail, who's getting in there along with Arteezy with all this damage.
Yeah, and it comes so quick. That's the thing. All of this team fight control coming from the EG supports as we can see the replay coming out of here as well. And it looks like he should just be going down, but those other heroes, they don't have that much damage.
Jeez, first they control one half of Secret with the shackle, then the other half with this, the stomp, and Zai just got to do nothing the whole time.
Yeah. Follow-up coming in afterwards, the Edict, Fly, let his team know how it feels about it. So 15.5 minutes in and a smoke up coming for Evil Geniuses. This lineup can just keep going.
Yeah, they won't have the Stampede though, which is a little worrisome, but they also know the Hand of God won't be there.
Yeah, God Strength also not available.
Star Scan, okay.
Or Splitter. Yeah, and they're still just trying to hold on to this tower for all they can. Fly.
Jeez, that's a mech on Puppy though. He has brought back the Hand of God.
Oh goodness. Yeah, and they're just gonna back out.
How many coursers we had? Just 3, so they've adopted another one.
They could go on Denisha here. Avalanche, mid one trying to find it. They don't go for the splitter as of yet. They find it afterwards. Mid one very low. The stomp coming from S4 finds it onto them. The sleep afterwards. Nisha's in trouble. He's going down, and the Fisher's actually blocking the pump. Getting closer. This is Nisha possibly going down. And it's got mechanism. Everything pieces, trying to take down Zai, and they are possibly going to get it for him. Yes, Fly, get away.
That Courser.
Oh, no, it doesn't. They managed to find him at the very end. Zai gets one more hit.
The golems.
Oh, they did it to him.
Yeah. Back from the dead, able to bring him down, but Evil Geniuses with a huge fight for themselves. And of course, they don't get any XP on the side of Secret because it was the Centaur, the Mud Golem that got the final kill.
Well, that is a big win. EG now up 10-3 over Secret. A 2,000 gold lead.
Again, though, question is the Radiance, right?
Yeah.
It is still going to be coming out here soon from Nisha. It is that big power point for him. But at this point, I mean, when we were last discussing that, we had Mid1 and Zai kind of jostling for positions with Sumail and S4. Now they've kind of firmly cemented themselves ahead of them. Maybe S4 and Mid1 are still a little bit close, but Sumail dishing out so much damage in this early game. 4-0-6. Very impressive net worth so far from a guy that has not been hitting the creeps quite as hard as the Wraith King and the Sven.
And he's going for this build too to stay alive in the fights. That's all he really needs to do on this last track. Has the Yule Scepter there for a defensive save if things get a little bit too crazy, and also, of course, to help out his team against that Earthshaker.
Yeah, he's going to have to make sure that he does stay alive, though, if he goes in for this Bloodstone build. S4 going to run into Puppey, start the initiation, maybe taking a look here, see if there's any friends.
Oh, the root. It's keeping Arteezy on fire, but he has his Blink Dagger. Going to come off cooldown in just a second. Should have it on him. Hasn't been delivered, actually, as of yet, and they actually recall in Zai. So Arteezy in some trouble now. He does not have friends with them, and Zai just continuing to run him down with Mid1 in the area. Can they get an S4 again with the stomp? Arteezy goes down, and now the Stampede to try and run away. They bring down the EG carry.
Yeah, that was just the level 1 in the impetus too. He's only level 11 when he got the final touch there. So nicely played from Zai. Good positioning there. Try to get the saves again from the sports, but not enough. This time they gotta be careful. You don't have that much damage, so it's just some disengaging spells here.
Yeah. Not wanting to fully commit onto that one, but a very nice pickup for Secret, and does give Nisha a little bit more breathing room to farm up and finish off that Radiance. Just very close to getting a complete S4. Realizing Mid1 is in the area. He's going to get himself out of dodge.
So now we're gonna have that Radiance on the way, and they didn't really have to extend anything on the side of Secret, right? They're also really close to that Blink Dagger on Yap, so now with the Tower Gold even closer. So, if you are Team Secret, potentially securing one more tower for yourself, and then I think you're starting to consider that Roche pit just a little bit right now, right? With the Radiance, I think you're willing to take a fight there. Does depend on the timings and the cooldowns, of course, of the Elder Titan as well as that God Strength, but probably something both teams are going to be attempting to snag for themselves.
Always a consideration in these games, and you can see Dota Plus right now heavily favoring EG with all of these cores, and most notably, really, it's Crit on this Wind Ranger that's really taken off.
Yeah, as you said, with these cores, yeah.
I mean,
he's up there with the upper shakers and the chens.
Yeah.
A very defensive smoke here from EG, basically just taking back control of their own area.
And this is feeling like it's taking a little bit too long. Yeah, Axor has enough for his Blink Dagger, but they're actually not quite going to go for it. He needs to get over to the side shop to get it. I thought that was going to be a fight, but
Courier's going instead.
Out.
It is a fat Courier. They bring it back. They're like, dude, that's way too risky. Get that thing out of there. You go.
Yeah, he's gonna go and get that one. But that does scout it out the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. He walked right by a ward. So EG are gonna be aware of this.
Sumail,
top side. They find one, Mid1, in some trouble. And Arteezy, S4 shows up, and they kill off the Tiny. Another time, Mid1 going down in this game.
Yep, same time, at least Zai is able to take that mid-tier 1 tower. So again, control of Baroche a little bit more equalized here, as EG won't have that tier 1 tower to move to.
Midas back out again.
Yapsor is lurking now. Doesn't want to show anywhere. Wants to make this first big play with the Blink Dagger, so they're going to send Nisha out first. They have that Observer Ward, though, in the lane next to Nisha from EG, so they've already spotted the Earthshaker and the Ench kind of jostling through those trees.
And at the 20-minute mark now, with the mechanism done, they're just going to try and, it seems like, kind of wait to farm up their next set of items. But this is one of the pivotal points that we always talk about with anybody that builds a Bloodstone, really. What do they get out of the next fight?
Don't die.
Pretty much. That's what it feels like for Sumail at this point as he finishes his off. You have to make sure that you stay alive in that next round of engagements. And that's what it feels like for Sumail at this point as he finishes his off. You have to make sure that you stay alive in that next round of engagements.
It also helps determine his next item too, right? Whether it's going to be the BKB, whether it's going to be the boots of travel. These next few engagements are just super crucial. Now YapzOr hits that level 10, so he's going to make up for his build with the Tranquils, get himself that mana.
Now movement into the jungle. YapzOr gets the blink away up to the high ground. Power shot lands the stun. And they find YapzOr getting greedy up on top of the cliff.
He really did.
EG is like, we know that spot very well. You can't hide there from us. And they will find that pickoff.
Maybe it was a taunt, you know?
Possibly. Mid one in the bottom lane, they find him as well. And Crit chasing him down, has the shackle shot afterwards.
Really? He's now 0, 6, and 2 on Tiny.
I was talking about Crit.
Well, I know Crit's doing everything. Is he a mid player? Because he's ahead of the Tiny. Okay, he's not quite. But he is kill-wise, that's for sure. 4, 0, and 7 on Crit right now. A mid-Tiny, an aggressive hero. Someone you expect to be going across the map and picking up kills for his team to create some space. No, he's creating space in the ground. His grave.
And to be fair, it feels like it's a lot based upon how much pressure they put on him. Like, this was the game plan from EG going into it. They're like, we're going to mess this guy up.
He will still be creating concerns, I think, for Sumail if he does go for the boots of travel build before the BKB, right? This guy's off on some side lanes by himself. Tommy's a very scary guy. He can blink, he can just toss you back to someone who's got a little more gold, like that Wraith King, right? Get the follow-up stun, then you get some help from YapzOr too. There's not a lot of safe places on the map in terms of split pushing, but Electric, beyond just the boost of travel function, the TP is always going to appreciate all that move speed in the engagements. Move speed from the smoke now, or Secret.
Oh, they jump forward, they find him, trying to get a turnaround here, Fly. Able to get it, the splitter down, they have the shackle onto 1, there's not a lot of damage coming out from Zai, but now he turns to try and find the fight for the hook stomp onto 3, S4 makes it happen again. They haven't been able to play Dota, but YapzOr coming in with the Echo Slam. It's not doing enough damage though. Maybe the follow-up coming from Nisha with the blade mail is though, as Sumail tries to run away. You'll Scepter, leave him alive. Is it going to be enough? He's still walking away. Crit controlling. Nobody has died except for that Earthshaker, but S4 again finds the big stomp, the power shot afterwards. They need to run away. Zai's doing too much damage. The avalanche toss, and the kill comes through.
They're able to get RTZ up. Fly actually goes back in after wanding.
Dude, those Corsairs, all of that magic resistance, it's insane.
Yeah, they need it. The way they're like kind of stacking and delaying the fight, getting more and more spells off. And as you can see from that recap there, what, 3,000 more damage, and you're the ones who took down a core versus a support from the side of Secret. So you need a heck of a lot to get through all that resistance.
See S4 there, hitting a couple of big stomps, but it was not enough in the end. I mean, does it get to the point where you need to like focus those creeps down? I don't know. Not sure what the heck you do.
It's difficult to do though.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're sitting with it, right? Maybe you come into a fight with your Midas is fresh or something and just opt for it, but they've only got 1 on the Sven, and I highly doubt Arteezy's going to be down for that play.
Maybe even going in and trying to like clear them through with the Sven himself if he's able to find him and spot him. But it's not easy. Not easy at all. 25-minute mark. Secret going to pick up 3 of those bounty runes. Sumail gets the other one.
Crit's actually a higher level than it. That is nuts.
Has the mechanism, so EG has some form of sustain for themselves now as well.
And then the one reason that fight also went when it started, Fly Spirit was on cooldown. So that's why he had to throw out a defensive Earth Splitter. He did not want to do that. Yeah, right here, when Arteezy gets jumped, the Spirit's not ready. So Fly's sitting there like, usually, right, I'm going to throw that Spirit, I'm going to stomp. He has the Earth Split instead, so already the fight gets messy. If they had a stomp on that 3-man ramp, that could have looked a lot better for EG, but S4 instead is to come through with that big hoof stomp there. And Secret, it's slow for them, right, because they're eventually getting this damage out, but there's not enough from EG to secure the kills.
And maybe something similar going to happen here. Nisha's not with the team, sitting up on the top lane, but obviously can get in quickly if there is a fight brewing. S4 looking for an opening as the smoke is going to dissipate.
Yeah, the Ogre Frostmage is the only person playing the lane. He does eventually leave it, but other than that, it's just creeps and skeletons.
Yeah, all of these creeps, super OP. You get the step coming through. Arteezy following it up. Already initiating. Can they get enough damage out though? It's looking like it's going to be there. Zai also getting turned upon. They buy back on the Tiny though. Can they get any more kills? Secret trying to find something afterwards. The fissure timing from the afterwards. The BKB wears off. Avalanche controlling up this Sven. He's able to get a good shackle, but it's not enough as they will kill off the carry another time.
Yeah, just hopping onto the Tiny just feels like the worst possible option. He is the last hero you want to initiate on, I think, in these fights, because he's not that right now, right? He's got Blink Echo. I'd rather maybe try and Zai before he can get anything, try and eliminate the Chen or the Earthshaker from the fight. And even the Raid Kick would be something. Yeah. Perhaps try and get down that first light without spending too much, but they actually spent a heck of a lot there, just getting that first kill, and then of course he just buys back, puts in a good position for Roche.
And now you're in a position where you have to give up Roche as Evil Geniuses. They're going to try and slow it down with the Elder Titan Spirit. They have the stomps to land on top of it.
Oh, but his Spirit's going back.
Have an idea where he's at. Time to run away. And you'll set with Sumail actually going to find Yapzor, maybe going to bring him down, and a God has have to be used. The power shot comes through to finish him off, and now mid one able to control on the fly. I mean, Roche isn't going down quite that slowly. Can they really get there in time to contest without a buyback from Arteezy? It's getting super low. Trying to make it happen, but it's not going to be enough. I mean,
oh, they're waiting.
That was
a moment.
And now looking for the follow-up. Another stomp, another catch the shackle. Able to interrupt in mid one, though. Being that stalwart force in the middle of all of them to make sure they can't initiate onto the rest of his team does mean that mid one is likely going to die again, but he's able to keep the rest of them alive. Sumail still living through this one. Arteezy back in the midst of him. Turns on his eye, wants to kill him off instead. Turns on to Nisha, barely able to keep Sumail alive. There's no man on side. He gets one last infinite shot out. That's enough for the kill. And now Arteezy trying to stand tall against absolutely everybody. Needs to run away. The Earth Splitter comes through, still dodging. Crit even trying to slow them down with the Rin Run slow, but he will too eventually fall. And EG managed to get a couple of buybacks out, but still it's the Aegis for Secret.
Yeah, at the very least, you were able to secure Arteezy's escape on losing. Sumail gonna hurt them heavily there. He tried to ignore the Wraith King, but I don't think you can, right? He tries to go past him, try and focus on Zai, because he knows that he can't allow the bench to just be there in the back line, but then there's no real additional follow-up damage there on Denisha. I think they just need more from over the guys 6-1 and 10, but
no.
It's the guy's got a BKB, so Sumail can't do a whole lot to try and help deal with Nisha. And then that Blade Mail absolutely wrecks Crit, which is probably why he's not targeting him, right? Because if I go for that focus fire on him, I'm just gonna die.
And you can see this opening here as well, getting that stomp same time as the shackles came out actually.
Yeah, a little unfortunate in that regard.
But they did manage to find the mid one kill yet again. And then of course the follow-up coming. It looked like Zai maybe was going to not be able to get the last kill onto Sumail there.
Look at those coursers though. I mean, you see the buffs down on the bottom.
It's true.
They're just hanging on the high ground there. So a couple potatoes. I guess the coursers could be the meat. It could be the meat and potatoes strat. We good with that?
I like that.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Meat and potatoes. Let's fit into every cast.
Yeah, makes a lot of good. Well, first course, center coursers, they're still there. He's got 2 potatoes, some meat.
Yeah, they're heading all across the map.
Needs to find some more though.
I like that. Zai walking uphill. They have a shot lands. Nisha just gonna walk forward. They find the hoof stomp on the back line, but another fissure. Big one, not gonna go down from that one. The splitter coming through as well as it lands on the Earthshaker. This is a nice one. Oh yeah, tries to drop Pickles Lane. It's not quite enough. Sumail needs to stay alive as he walks through the trees and then tiptoes way away. And Arteezy also having to escape. This Enchantress just does so much freaking damage. The shackle BKB reaction from Nisha before it landed. Still trying to run by Arteezy, able to get it. Another round of hook stomps coming through on it too, but there's no follow-up.
It's just delay. That's all it is, right? Every single one of these stuns, I feel like, is just trying to get them out. But at some point, they've got to go in. They've got to get the damage to try and win these team fights, and it feels like it's still so far away. I'm talking like Bloodthorn, Sven, and probably like, item after like Moonshard or something. Because Nisha just feels like you cannot handle him right now.
Seems like Arteezy needs 5,000 more net worth of items, and lo and behold, that's how much Nisha is up.
Good math right there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, Tier's tower going to get taken in Secret, who have been so dominant all year long. Going to try and take this game in the upper bracket. Salt your ass done as well. And again, it's feeling like PG, their only solution is to try and delay. Stomp going to land. But no follow-up as of yet. Another round of shackles trying to kill off the skeleton. They're not set back at all. So they're just going to Spawn moving forward.
Well, of course, Nisha, there's no real concerns with mana burn in this game, right? So he opted for the 2x skeleton spawn, which I gotta say, guys, if you haven't played it, it is one of the funnest talents, I will say, especially with the skeleton damage. But he opted for the strength this game. But these guys, you get so shoot with gold. They just go all over the map and farm for you, and they're great at sieging high ground.
Oh, and you can keep on spawning them over and over and over again. And, well, in the meantime, Evil Geniuses looking to find a pickoff. S4 runs into YapzOr and mid one. A little bit of a toss up in the air, and then, hey, how you doing? See you later.
Oh, considering the way these fights have been feeling, I'm surprised the net worth is so close. Currently, Nisha, team?
Oh.
All right.
He's just out of there.
Earth splitter in time there, and well, not gonna need his friends. As he's just feeling the strength of his hero right now. But now he's a Shadow Blade. Okay.
Interesting.
All right, Nisha.
What's the idea behind this?
He's looking to end the game here, looking for the back line, trying to catch just a fly. I mean, how have these fights been going, right? Just a nuisance. If we initiate onto anyone that's not fly, we get stomped. We initiate on someone who's not crit, we just get tackled or something. So if you can get onto one of those two before they can get their spells off, before the wind run, they can have a chance of actually bursting down one of these very annoying, essentially save supports at this point.
A smoke up coming from them as well. They will try and find somebody, but looking so far, nobody's around. They realize the smoke doesn't break on the illusion. Also that he's not killing off the creep wave, kind of a red flag. And now
there's a pink from RTZ too, so I think maybe
they know.
Saying the Shadow Blade, maybe okay, might be going for a Silver Edge as well here, guys. He does have queued up. He's also got a Moon Shard there too, so we'll see which one he opts for. That is one thing with the Blade Mail, is that it does make your inventory a little wonky, I think, when you play Wraith King, because after the Blade Mail and the Radiance, you tend to get gold so fast that you're almost ready to replace the Blade Mail in like 10 minutes.
And again, it's sort of a testament to the craziness of Dota. Right now, the kill score 9-20, but if you keep your eyes on sort of the win probability and where we're sitting at this point in the game, it's almost back to about 50-50, it feels like. It's really swung back from where it was before. And, you know, Evil Geniuses, feels like they're maybe losing a little bit of a grip on the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've lost it a while ago. I still think this game is very hard for EG to win. It's going to take, again, just time and time for them to do it. If they can. It certainly helps that mid one's been a virtual non-factor, but a damage sponge.
And this is a nice little pickup for them as well, taking down mid one. Can Secret get there in time? Not quite. Now, they're kind of committed to this fight as well. Another great fissure coming from YapzOr. Just to place spoiler to that kill potential. Puppey, okay, they want the bigger kill. They want to find Zai. DKB popped the turn, find that kill, and Zai is going to eat the dirt. And YapzOr also, he stuck around a little bit too long. One by one, Secret going down. None of these heroes have buyback, Trent. What's going on?
My weak and puny allies have failed me. What are they doing? They're fighting without Nisha.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's pretty much the only way things can go wrong, right? Is getting caught out like that. So great stuff there from EG to capitalize on that, and there he is.
Another round of it.
All right, got the DKB.
Finding their man.
They got the Earth Splitter.
Shadow Blade, but they got detection, or do they? No. They dropped the sentry ward off to the side. Is there any more detection coming through? Fly.
There we go.
Still chasing, but Nisha does the okey doke and gets out of there.
Now, does he farm the lane? No, okay, he's not that brave.
Now, I thought that the Roche was going to be back up in time for him to take advantage of the lack of buybacks, but does not look like that's going to happen. So with the 3,000 gold lead, EG, again, starting to play catch-up and getting farm onto that big bad Sven.
Well, as you said, catch, right? Because much like the way that you're able to delay these fights, drag them out because of the heroes on EG, equally they have very good catch from those same heroes, right? Even just the spirits ahead, you've got the Wind Ranger who's so quick with the tackles, the Leshrac with the usual, and then S4 who's been out of his mind with the stomp this game. I will say, I feel like I haven't given quite enough credit to him. Has been hitting 2 or 3 man stomps virtually every single time. So if the fight goes bad for Secret, it's going to go real bad because they're going to run you down like that.
Well, it does feel like it's kind of a weird game right now for S4 because he's kind of just this big ball of auras and a stampede from time to time with that big stun that comes out. But really not lacking that damage. That's where crit is coming into play. And well, speaking of crit, he's going to get pulled back in.
He's level 20 though.
Talent. And the chase forward, the Bloodthorn. Look at the damage coming out. S4 finds the stomp there again. On to 2 RTZ, trying to take down. It's going to be Zai. And now afterward, turning towards mid one. The Avalanche trying to delay things, but it might. Oh! YapzOr! Where's the follow-up though? Nisha's there. Do they have enough damage? It's not looking like it's quite going to be there as EG continue to run through them. And Sumail just backing away from Nisha. His BKB wearing off too. And actually Crit lives through this one as well. Avalanche is going to be able to actually reveal himself, and Crit goes down. Puppey also going to hit the deck. Another round of another bunch of kills. Nisha just trying desperately to hold on here. Chasing down and finding Arteezy. They blow him up. Able to get the kill on his Sven. Mid-1 with this buyback might be making enough space for the rest of his team.
Yeah, good buybacks there, and they know the Roche is up. We have to come back and fight for this one.
And that's for chasing. Sumail shows up for another round, and now catching on to mid-1. This fight's gone on for forever, it feels like. Another Avalanche, but Crit doing the damage for his team with the splitters afterwards. They take down the Toppy.
They made it past, right? Sumail reading the game so well against this guy because he got initiated on the start of that fight. Nisha couldn't. Suddenly realized he's hitting this left track, and he's like, I'm not doing nearly enough damage to this guy. And so kind of wasted the break on the left track. He did eventually get a break onto the Sven, which might have helped a little bit there at the end. But EG, they have made it past. I was worried about potential high ground there from Secret, but they held fast to those big pickoffs at the 30-minute mark. And now, Secret trying to play.
Wraith King jumps into the middle of him. The Aegis, it's going to get picked up though, and now Nisha, he's committed. He does have ulti available, but does he end up having to pop it now? Crit trying to run away. Zai caught off to the side. They don't have the BKB to pop. Untouchable doing so much work here. Sumail, can they get it in time? Still chasing. Sumail going to be able to find Puppey, but can he get any more afterwards? Nisha turning on Slay, eats the cheese, and able to back away now. Crit still living through this. They're kiting it all beautifully. EG trying to run, trying to side. The Echo Saber slow in the rundown. Nisha going to call. And they find themselves another round of another couple kills. Blade Mail be damned. EG, you're coming.
Last man standing falls for Secret, and now it's EG on a rush.
And down mid because buyback in the game, and are they going to go for it all? EG right now, 85 seconds with no Wraith King. In the top seed Kirby matchup, we've never seen one. Yeah. How much do you want to test?
If you don't make that timing right, one gun's not going to be enough, and they just dropped like an absolute rock on the Enchantress and the Tiny, and that big boulder was nothing but a pebble this game. One of the most disappointing performances you've probably ever seen if you're mid-1. Just could not find a game. EG doing a great job, of course, of focusing him down. But mid-1 not make the plays here. So he's going to lose himself the racks as well as the melee on the bottom. Secret in a spot here now.
And you can see 10, 3, 11, and 34,000 hero damage for Arteezy. He's played a pretty nice Sven, it must be said. But to me, one of the standout players has definitely got to be Crit. This guy's been all over the place.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's got these nice KDAs this game, right? Because they only got 12 kills on the side of Secret. But, I mean, Sumail 9-1-19, and then Crit, as you're seeing there, 8-2-19. 8 camps stacked. He's doing it all. He's got a ward destroyed. He spent 630 gold on support items.
Amazing.
Wow.
Man, so Shrine's taken basically 2 lanes of racks. You've got 25 on life also. So all of those Diabolic Edict explosions are causing some trouble.
That's how you siege a background right there.
Oh yeah. Hasterin picked up for Sumail bottom, or rather top, and there's an Arcane down bottom. But if you're Secret, what's the play at this point? Like, you're down 15,000 net worth. You've got at the very least Aghanims now on mid-1.
You need Crit. Yeah, exactly. You need a Chrysalis on that onto mid-1. You got to make these big plays. You want the BKBs who can actually cast the spells. Definitely a fair choice. But they need some ultimate wombo combo stuff here from Team Secret. But they've done it before. We have seen them come back from games that looked worse than this. Unfortunately, I don't think they have the heroes to do it as easily this time. The Enchantress and the Tiny, it's so difficult when you're so far behind.
Well, and to Chen too, to be honest, like a hero that has a lot of save.
Popping those tones. So up to level 20, want some cash, but it's gonna be a while.
Absolutely. So EG pushing down the top lane next, dotting their I's and crossing their T's, and trying to, oh my God, that is quite the swing in the last couple of minutes. That was 6 minutes ago.
Hey, 2% is generous.
For some solid NA match again.
That's, I've seen some mega creep comebacks here, adjusting the formula. We'll give them 2 this time.
Butterfly done for the and now. and still sitting on the high ground as they just hold off. Do not want to throw this lead away in game number 1. Again, Evil Geniuses, if they came in here and were able to make the upset happen, I think it would be a huge surprise for a lot of the Dota 2 community. Team Secret looks so solid throughout the entire season, but the big test for them has always been TI. It's a test that they haven't been able to come up with a victory for as of yet.
Feels the same for everyone, doesn't it?
Pretty much.
That darn TI gets to a lot of teams and becomes the monkey on your back, and Secret is certainly one of them. And VP, you tend to think of as the two big ones who annually it seems like they have these huge expectations, and everyone's like, no, but this time it's going to be different. And of course, it's only game 1 in the upper bracket. I'm not trying to jinx anybody here, not throwing out the curses, but
a very solid showing from Evil Geniuses. Yeah, there you go. You say it. Sumail gonna TP in, clear out this creep wave, and then try and get the push on, it feels like here. 15,000 net worth lead for Evil Geniuses. And still an opportunity for Secret if they can find that perfect fight.
Yeah, obviously, they've outlasted the Aegis. It's a good start, right?
Yeah. I mean, it feels like the path to victory has to come through YapzOr again on that Earthshaker, hitting the giant echo slams and then having the damage afterwards from mid 1 and Nisha.
Yeah, but these are some meaty guys over there. I know you guys are the ones with the coursers, but that Centaur over there, he's got 3,650 HP.
Yeah, that's true. Mention that Aeon disc on crit now. He's not going down. KB's lower. And bot lane, their Secret want to try and find a pick-off.
Yeah, probably hoping for a Sumail TP. I would assume, on the lane. Baiting Nisha on the top, but it looks like you have a very good read on the situation. Crit, the only one not nearby. He's up top, perhaps thinking that he's tanking the smoke. You can see he's edging himself by the tree line.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna join his team. They're on the run, on the hunt.
They see Zai though, Stomp off the mark, but they managed to find the silence and the follow-up. Stomp for the kill.
Venison.
70 seconds on the sideline for Zai as EG gonna clear through those creep and push in for another round. Maybe down that tier 2 tower. We are still about a minute and a half away from Roche being capable of respawning. And a nice way to start this one off is bottling up a DD, or just taking it, because why not?
Regeneration.
Time to take down the tower, I think.
Yeah. Easy peasy. Or easy.
Fucking the buddy system here, keeping crit nearby. Still KB not gonna this game. He's very important.
YapzOr, he's already used 1 round, but comes out to silence his crowd. Easy. Not caring about anything.
Couldn't even hit the buttons fast enough. I hit the
chase forward. Arteezy, he's feeling it, ready to go up on the high ground. It's a lot of damage out with that break. The avalanche costs. Arteezy pops the BKB, now trying to chase. This guy's mad, wants to shut him down, see if it's going to happen. And indeed, he finds 1 kill, now looking for the second, killing off his old captain, and now looking to take a bit more as the tier 3 tower goes down and everybody retreats. Chase forward though. Avalanche, throwing out that Raid Fire Blast. Now Nisha, Shadowblade, Chase, BKB, wants to kill off Sumail, but Sumail very speedy on that Lesh. And Arteezy doesn't care, the rest of his team is dying, he's farming up a hard camp.
Yeah, Sumail even pop that Bloodstone for ultimate safety here. So they do defend at least past the YapzOr death. So they'll be able to come back, but some costly buybacks there on the Chen and the Tiny. 1 step closer to just being able to close this game with a single kill now from EG.
And Wraith King realizes, I need a big item. Doesn't matter if I have buyback. I've got my ulti, and he is going to go for the full-on Bloodthorn after the Shadowblade, wanting to make some magic happen. So often this has been the guy to carry.
Yeah, there's some heroes that maybe this will work on, but they have an Observer Sentry combo in the mid lane, so they see him.
And Crit, scouting things out. They're sending the little creeps up to get vision, and that potato might get killed off here by Fly. Looks like they're going to leave it alone.
I don't think he's got the time.
That's true. 46 minutes in, Evil Geniuses looking for one last push on possibly. Although Roche, now we know, will respond in 2 minutes. So a little bit of a longer period of time for EG.
Yeah, only benefits Secret. I was trying to get themselves a little bit more wiggle room. from here. Perhaps just one more item on some of these heroes, another level, anything that will help in this engagement, because they're certainly going to need all Nisha and Sumail's hanging it out down here.
And Nisha?
Yeah, he's got the TP, but he's got to be careful.
Going down the TP!
There's the talent there, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nisha getting caught out, killed, and that man spot out. He doesn't have buyback.
Is this guy human? I didn't know. I mean, the guy's been so mechanical like a robot the entire season, but perhaps a little error there from Nisha.
And the 25 talent, like you mentioned, from Leshrac, making the distance, their difference between the BKB. And now this is an easy push for them. I mean, it's 1,300 gold away. Secret need a miracle and a bit more than that.
Goes from King to King Slayer. You know, Sumail, he wears several hats for the team.
The huge pickoff from Sumail. And now EG moving up onto high ground. This hold feeling like an impossibility. They need everything from YapzOr as well as Zai. Looking for that opening. Fissure going to be thrown out. They also have the tree toss coming from mid one. They're going to run out of trees, though, before they can burn through these EG hero pools. Sumail still holding on for the moment. They use the glyph.
Remember, when Nisha's dead, it's a 60K net worth lead.
That's true. He is a monster.
That guy's got a lot of it tied up in himself.
And they do a buyback on Zyba. Mid one jumping in. YapzOr able to find the Echo Slam. It's not enough damage. Arteezy able to get the BKB off. Taking down YapzOr. No buyback from him either. EG smelling blood. Going for the chase. Sumail still trying to run away. The stomp is going to connect onto one, but their eyes on the prize. Evil Genius is going to take down these tier 4 towers. And Secret, they can't believe it, as they are not willing to give up, but this game is well and truly over. Evil Geniuses are going to go up 1-0 over. Disconnect coming out. Secret really struggling in that last couple of minutes, it felt like.
Yeah, EG, they stood the test of time versus that Secret lineup. Able to get themselves moment there, but his allies, they weren't quite on that same level.
Shitty wizard.
I like you. A gift from me to you.
Not yet.
Say hello to the nice people.
You're safe. Let's get back to it.
Good enough.
No attack.
They're over here!
Come in. Conquer.
Fantastic. Community, we did it, boys. That was fantastic. But it ain't over. We have next time you see me, maybe, the top 3 for the short film contest. The time has finally come. We will announce the winners as he was walking home with the grand prize. But in a little bit, stay tuned. And for now, we'll shoot it back over to Rich.
I'm just so that we actually did get to see Dark Willow included in the film contest already. You know, a lot of big oversights around this pick, but the biggest oversight about Dark Willow is not going to be her inclusion in the film contest.
I was hoping you'd read us the whole copy pasta, Rich. I mean, you've sort of let me down there.
Oh, what do you mean? Do I have an oversight of my own here?
No, Dark Willow. I was ready for it.
Ready for what?
Rich, you're unbelievably smart is what he's getting at.
Oh, thank you so much. It means a lot coming from you, especially with that beautiful accent that you do have. Let's jump back to the game, though. Let's actually start to talk about what we expect to see when we do get into Game 2. I'm already looking forward to everything in this film contest, but let's start to talk about what we actually saw, because you were the one, we didn't get to talk about it to everybody watching at home, that kind of said, yeah, EG overperformed in my mind.
No,
a few early mistakes.
Yeah, for me, that was the most impressed I've been by Evil Geniuses in quite some time. They've turned up on the main stage. They're playing against Secret. The beginning of that game, it wasn't easy for them. You saw Secret give them a really good struggle. They had this sort of raking edge. There's a few fights where EG was going in with the Sven, and they weren't quite getting the kills. Things were getting turned around. But then that one overextension from Secret in the mid lane by the tier 1 tower, where EG were able to capitalize it on, that's when it all turned. There were these really amazing calls being made by EG, some magnificent buybacks, especially around the Roshans. There was that point where Crit and Arteezy came back into the game. They managed to get over to the Radiant side, die back on mid one. They take Rosh, and I don't know. For me, that was just, it was absolutely worth for all the EG fans that stayed up to watch that game. Samael had one of the best Lesh performances on the main stage. it's been a quick 2-0.
So you talk about that overextension, though. That's just the fulcrum shift in the matchup in your mind. There are some other big things that we do have to look at when EG really started to catch sparks.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was Secret. I mean, you look. Come out, and as you said, they beat Secret. I mean, I looked at supports. They had 0, it was 0-8 and 0-10 on Puppey as well as Yapzor. Like, that usually doesn't happen, especially with Yapzor.
Yeah, just the coordination from EG was perfect. There was never like overlapping stunts, and everything was done to the max. You saw S4 go in as a sensor, and he always had that patience. He wouldn't just blow his who stomp straight away. He would look to reposition, make sure that he wasn't getting one here. He was getting 2, 3 at the start of every single fight. And as I said, it seems like all the problems that some of these players have had maybe in the past on different teams on the main stage of TI, they're gone. If they can keep this up and keep themselves this cool and this confident, I think everyone else in the tournament's got to be very scared of EG.
Yeah, at this point, it feels like it's almost a mental game. Like, are you going to beat yourself or are you going to beat the opponent? It really is just don't get into your own head.
Okay, so basically, for EG fans at home, you want to see them keep doing what they just did in this last game. But for the Secret fans that are watching right now, what needs to change? Is the pressure really going to be on their team fight, or is it going to be more on the individual level?
In this situation, I think it was more on the individual level. I'd never seen mid-1 look so anemic before. Like, his Tiny, it was taking forever to kill him, but that's great. It's just that he's not dealing any damage. He's just sitting there tanking a lot of abuse. He's the hero that everyone needed to perfectly stagger the stuns for, because as soon as mid-1 gets unleashed, then all hell breaks loose. The Evil Geniuses just weren't letting that happen.
Okay, well, now we need to actually take a look at the players that individual pressure is going to be on. They are about to take the stage. Let's see. To be EG, this was the team that looked very dominant in the first game, and you heard from everybody on the panel that they just need to keep doing what they're doing. Team Secret also taking their positions as well. They need to rally together, and we are going to put them under the microscope here. And I also do want to kind of mention, when we start to talk about everything we need these individual players to do, is there one player in particular that the folks at home should be looking at here?
For Team Secret, I'm looking at Zai. I feel he is their like most gifted player, and he needs to make it happen. They usually give him these playmaker type of heroes, and on the other side, I think for EG, I think it's as far. I think it actually is like this off lane versus off lane, because they are the ones making the moves. The carries want to farm. Like we saw Wraith King spend, they were just farming. They'd occasionally come to fights, but it's all about the off laners.
Okay, do you agree, offlaners?
For me, I'd say it's the mid lane. I think, Tsunami sort of touched upon it. That last game, it was a rough one for mid one. I don't know if it's necessarily the play or the pick in that scenario, but he wasn't able to sort of just take over the game to the same extent that Sumail did. Sumail just giving us an absolute top-class performance, showing us why he is arguably, in some people's minds, the best mid in the world right now.
Now, when we look at these teams, for anybody who hasn't been following throughout the entirety of the year, I think there's obviously a lot surrounding these teams, expectation-wise, even to those people who maybe haven't been as up to date. A lot of people saying that Secret was potentially their favorite, and with EG trying to really break through on the main stage and grab that win, do you think that we are seeing what we expected overall?
Evil Geniuses have been consistent. They just haven't been the best. That's why over the course of the season, everyone's saying 3G.
And the last major actually was a pretty rough one for them.
Exactly.
They really crumbled out of that one.
So them being kind of middle of the pack, like people always expect them to make it reasonably far through a tournament. It's just that, is this a championship team? Because it's not good enough for this roster. You know these players as well as I do. These guys want first place. It's not about...
They expect it. They don't want it. They expect it.
No. And so if they don't manage to make it, like however deep they think they should, possibly all the way to a championship, is this the kind of team that would shuffle? Who knows? But I do know that third place isn't good enough for them anymore.
And when you say that they expect it, do you think that you just said they have to make sure that they're not getting in their own head? Do you think that that plays to their favor, or do you think that that can actually be something that's dangerous?
I mean, it can obviously, I think for them it's good, right? I mean, you look at these players like, I mean, Sumail himself will tell you he's cocky. I think the cockiness, I mean, Fly even, since when did he start like all chatting, doing those lines, like, right? It didn't start until about this year, and I think like, honestly, it's good for him. You've got to be confident in yourself if you want to win, and I think, honestly, these two teams like mentally are the exact same. They expect to win, and they'll tell you they expect to win. We saw Puppy in the interview.
Yeah, and I think that one of the things that we saw in that interview as well that is definitely going to be really important is how Puppy's mentally grown throughout all of the years and how this team really is going to function. We actually heard about his take on what it means to be a leader for this team.
Yeah, and I think one thing you can definitely draw from Puppy as a leader is he is probably one of the biggest innovators in Dota 2 when it comes to drafting. I feel you look back at that last game, you could argue it's pretty safe from Secret, right? They're running the safe lane Wraith King, the mid lane Tiny. Yeah, there's no surprises there. But I feel if Secret have tried this sort of approach against EG, sort of the standard bread and butter, and it hasn't worked out, you can absolutely expect that in this Game 2 draft, Puppy's going to come out with something entirely different and maybe bringing back some of the magic that we saw from them in the group stage, such as the mid one Jakiro. Maybe not something as that crazy and that far, but it's worked out for them in the group stage. And if you're not beating EG at the game that you feel was the best approach coming into this series, you got to switch it up, and Puppy's someone that's going to be able to easily do that.
Yeah, and I do want to say as well, is this still a phase, a point in the bracket where teams will be trying to hold some of those strats? I mean, we've already seen some crazy stuff, but at this point, you kind of do have to leave it all out there on the paint.
And it's weird, actually, by Secret drafting kind of standard, that was kind of their like secret strategy, because all through the group stage, they were doing these weird things, while on the other side, EG, they had the lowest amount picked heroes, I think, through maybe the first 3 days, and it was just very, very strange that Secret tried to just go and butt heads with them instead of doing their own game.
It's also one of the common critiques that a lot of people had of Bulba drafts over the course of this year is that like there are no real, there's no flavor, there's no innovation.
You're perfecting one style pretty much.
Exactly, and whenever that style becomes so typecasted and so stereotyped, then everyone knows how to beat an Evil Genius draft. And everyone always wants like, oh, well, you know, just let Sumail play something interesting, you know, or let Arteezy, like he got some Nagasar. Yeah, I know. It seems so easy, but if it brings them success, then why not? The thing is that with Secret, obviously, we had mentioned the head-to-head coach matchup, Sunbi versus Bulba. These are two players who know each other extremely well. I'm sure they scrim against each other all the time.
I think it is different in a way. Like I think Puppy doesn't really. How do you say it? Like Bulba actually does most of the drafting, right? I think Puppy does the drafting for Secret, and Sunbi's there just to like give tips and stuff like that. So it's a little bit different, but.
And every team needs something a little bit different, right? I do want to ask as well, I mean, now there's no questions besides how this game is going to play out. We need to actually take a look at what these players are going to grab in the draft. The lobby is all ready. Let's see what they have in store.
Team Secret versus Evil Geniuses. Game 2.
A team that has struggled to maintain a top form is off to a hot start here against Team Secret. Gentlemen, we had a bit of concerns with the first draft, right, about the aggression that was going to come out from Team Secret. What did EG do to counteract that in the game?
Well, I'd have to say it was Sumail on this last track. They picked this hero on 2-3 and they put him mid, and he had a fantastic game. The other panel was talking about how mid one really struggled. I think the EG supports, Fly and Crit, were just constantly rotating on the mid lane, and Puppy and Yapster just weren't able to stop mid one from dying. And because Sumail on the last track got so big, Zai, as a result, the Enchantress, who was at the top of the net worth, had to kind of back off and play back. And then they talked about that fight on the mid lane where Enchantress ended up dying. And man, Enchantress lineups, they never want to get off the gas pedal. And Team Secret had to sit back.
Wraith King's a hero that takes a lot of
lane, which is like, if you're in the safe lane on Ench, like your game's looking like a nightmare.
Yeah, when Wraith King type heroes struggle to hit their timings, I think that a lot of people don't realize that you end up seeing the effect of it on the rest of his team's net worth. Wraith King's a hero that takes a lot of the farm on the map, And if you have map control, then there's still going to be some farm left for your teammates. And since Team Secret's timings were slowed down by EG by Sumail's Leshrac, that made Wraith King's Radiance, I think.
You know, in hindsight, Wraith King was kind of a little bit of a weird pick for that draft because anytime you have a hero that's going this Midas and this Radiance, these are two items that don't really contribute to your hero's strength until later. And you kind of want to sit back and wait for these timings that I'm not sure like Ench and Chen really kind of fit that same lineup.
Yeah. Wraith King can snowball in terms of pushing towers with his skeletons, but that game they had Sven, they had ET, they had Leshrac, they had so many ways of just easily, naturally killing the skeletons.
Secret bans Chen and Enchantress here, but there's gonna be no Ench this game, so they don't want to try and beat EG's Chen, and they're also not gonna look for it themselves. This game is EG's now on first pick, and Secret is on second.
So seeing some of these bans coming out, what would you like to see change for Team Secret?
I think the ET ban was really important. I think that enabled the Leshrac a lot, and also their entire draft as a whole. The overall team fight control and magic damage amp that they played off of last game, especially in the mid game on EG.
Here comes Shadow Demon, I think. Elder Titan's out of the pool. I think it's a great overall first pick. The hero is so hot on the meta right now. He's got defensive and offensive tools. He seems like he counters every carry.
Whenever I'm forced to pick my hero after a Shadow Demon's been picked, sometimes, you know, people will say, wow, Sven into Shadow Demon, you know, lol. I'm like, what do you want me to pick? Like, it all sucks. You either get disrupted for your illusions or you're like a melee kiteable hero that gets purged. Nothing feels great.
Oh, yes, the Yapsor, potentially the Yapsor 4-position Invoker. It's, yeah, it's nice. He doesn't really care that much about Shadow Demon. We were talking about maybe carries that are good versus Shadow Demon. I think Gyrocopter is pretty good, also a pretty flavorful flavor of the tournament second pick hero. They might be able to pick him on the 15-17 slots here in the second phase. Leshrac is also potentially good. These are heroes that don't necessarily mind if they get purged because they can just stand there and just shoot out tons of damage. But it's, you know, the Shadow Demon is he's still kind of good against these heroes. Like it's tough. And wow, there's the Lesh, and this is a first pick Leshrac, which means EG will not see their mid matchup for this hero, but like we saw in the first game, they don't care. They're just going to make these rotations, enable Sumail on this Leshrac, and Team Secret's going to have to come up with something else. That being said, I think Invoker could actually be a mid lane hero against Leshrac.
Yeah, you said that with the ET first ban that you like the Shadow Demon first pick, and what I highlight about Shadow Demon is you don't want to pick heavy committal heroes because he just gets disrupted if you go on one of the targets. So the heroes I like to see against Shadow Demon are ones that poke from long range, but also ones that kind of use the disruption as almost an alley-oop for the opponent's stuns or AoE lockdown. Like once he comes out of the disruption, something's going to hit him. And heroes like Shaker and Invoker, as well as the ET that was banned, do fit that description. And like you said, just because it's first rounded, if they don't necessarily make the Invoker's game hard to play, they could just put a mid.
Definitely. It's an Ursh. Not from Secret. We actually saw Miracle.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering. You know.
Kind of helps keep pressure away from the Leshrac, right? Those Ember and Tiny bans.
I suppose it's meant to make the Invoker's game a little bit easier. I don't personally think that Earth Spirit is that impactful of a hero. I actually think he's best up against the Shadow Demon. So you see Zayak playing that here, or we saw him playing it.
Yeah.
He crushed me when I was playing Shadow Demon. It's just that instant silence with the pull. It's kind of hard to play against. Lifestealer goes out, and okay.
I like the Lifestealer ban. You pretty much have 3 heroes, 2 supports and 1 core that do absolutely nothing to a hero like that. I think Jug's kind of fallen out of the meta other than maybe with a Magnus.
Yeah, Jug is a little bit less popular. I was thinking Jug last game for Team Secret instead of that Wraith King. It's, you know, Jug doesn't build these backwards items. He wants to go immediately for that, you know, that Manta, that Maelstrom, that Diffusal Blade, and he's go, you know, win his lane and push it.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got that team fight with the Healing Ward to enable some of the higher tempo that you wanted to see from Team Secret.
Yeah, he can be good. He's also really good against Ember Spirit. When Ember Spirit's not in this pool, he's good against Tide too, right? The laning phase for Jug can be very, very good against Tidehunter.
Speaking of Tide, like this pick was surprise to me how popular he became in the meta throughout the group stage and was relatively successful. Sometimes he had some real bad misses where he just didn't do anything. Yeah, but a lot of games it seemed like a powerful hero.
The very tanky offlaners have been really popular. They actually make your game a lot easier when these offlaners can just stand in front with this medallion, this Vlads, these phase boots, and they can kind of tank all these spells. You kind of see what's going on in the team fight before your squishier guys go in. That's why Shao Demon has been so good, because he halves these tanky heroes HP with the Soul Catcher, but they've got both on their side. So unless Secret has a good way of stopping this Tidehunter from being a frontliner, they're gonna have to be really careful about the way they poke around him.
For a long time, heroes like Tide, I think we're kind of flown under the radar, mostly in my opinion because of heroes like Outworld Devourer that were especially popular 2-3 months ago that kind of just eat you alive if you try to tank, like PBD said. And when certain meta heroes get nerfed or become not so popular anymore, all of a sudden these heroes that were hard countered by them become first roundable or second, like third pickable like this.
Yeah, and that's the Enigma. It's a second pick Enigma, which is always a bit strange. Usually I like to pick this hero to isolate core matchups. You know, you pick them on first pick and then you see the enemy's cores, you counter pick those cores immediately and you get this Enigma plus tanky kind of offlaner that's good against their carry to play, you know, almost 1v2. But definitely a way to deal with the Tidehunter. You know, the
not purgeable stun.
What's the East Midnight Pulse?
Midnight Pulse
plus the Black Hole plus a BKB. Tidehunter could just die during that.
Yeah. Do you think there just wasn't a whole lot of other options to deal with the Tidehunter, so they just had to pull the gun on it?
Yeah, Tide's so good. Some people like OD can be pretty good at killing Tide. Yeah. You have some people like Death Prophet, but I'm not sure how good that matchup really is. Doom was an old matchup, but Doom's kind of fallen out of the meta as well.
In carry role, you have heroes like Slark, but you don't want him against Shadow Demon Leshrac.
Now, this does mean we've locked in the Invoker into the mid lane, right?
The Invoker is, I would say, for sure locked into...
So EG should be able to change things up right now if they didn't want Lesh.
Yapzor, and that's the thing. I think EG's just so confident with Sumail on the Lesh. I think they're just going to go for it anyways. We actually, at least I almost thought that the Wind Ranger last game was going to be played by Sumail, but I guess that's a hero that Crit's been playing a lot in pubs, and he was definitely pretty proficient on it. He had a huge impact on the last game.
I think when you're high skilled, Leshrac is one of the most straightforward heroes to play in all of Dota. Naturally clears waves, wants to participate with just 1 or 2 items, kills towers. It just requires a setup, and all of a sudden he's got a really powerful stun. And Sumail just, that's what won him TI5, right?
Sumail and Maybe are probably the 2 best Lesh players of this tournament, and they both just come at you. You got to deal with them.
So Secret had a Tide problem. They thought Enigma with that Black Hole can't cleanse it off. EG, they need an Enigma counter, and is that going to be the Rubik? Is that good enough for him?
Try to get their own Enigma.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Rubik is, it's tough. You know, it's not always the best, but Rubik is, you know, this is still a good Rubik game. He's got a lot of great spells to steal, and the instant lift will make these heroes have a hard time.
Another hero to be able to set up the Leshrac for success. Telekinesis.
5 seconds.
Yeah, no doubt. They have a lot of setup for Leshrac. I think the Invoker mid lane is a great response to this Leshrac. He would probably just go Exort, just play on long range, and just have tons of damage. So when this Lesh goes in with, I mean, he has a save through Shadow Demon, which is nice, but he will, you know, be susceptible to just getting blown up by this Shaker Invoker combo.
This game's going to come down to a lot who gets the initiation. I think Tide generally like to build Blink, but I kind of have a hard time envisioning him walking into fights this game. Sometimes we've seen Tides go something even as short as like Medallion into Blink.
Are they gonna ban the Arteezy Sven? What do you think's coming for?
They definitely need a hero that just consumes the jungle, right? You have Leshrac and Tide, both heroes want to play lanes. And I think if Evil Geniuses has I think Spectre would have been nice, because that's a hero that can play off map and primarily jungle while still being able to participate in fights.
I think EG kind of needs a guy to go in and stun. That's what I was thinking, like Sven, Wraith King.
I like the Sven suggestion just because it's another frontliner. I feel like whenever you have your Tide just being your only frontliner, you're not going to get good Ravage.
He can die this game, no doubt. Like, you just Black Hole this guy. I mean, maybe Crit steals it on the Rubik, but if Tide doesn't get Ravage off, it's not good. And we talked about EG kind of being a little bit predictable, but I mean, this is their bread and butter. This is RTZ's one of his go-to heroes besides the lifestealer. Sven, I think would say.
What about a Morphling? Have they banned it? I think this looks like a pretty nice Morphling game. I don't know.
I mean, Nisha does play a fantastic Morphling, but that hero has been nerfed quite a lot, and his attribute shift being so low in the early game has definitely reduced his effect.
Yeah, I was just thinking because you have the Shaker, maybe it's a viable last pick.
So what's a better option for Team Secret to beat out this Sven Leshrac duo?
I like Bristleback.
Like Bristleback against the Shadow Demon, huh?
What about all that Warcry armor and stuff? You're still okay with that?
Warcry doesn't give armor anymore. It actually doesn't block it.
You guys kind of put me on the spot. I had to come up with something pretty quick. I mean, you have a better suggestion?
I got you.
I already said Morphling. I can't think of anything better.
Classic Dota players just, always have something negative to say about something.
Yo, that's BSJ. I'm just the host of this panel, you know?
I'm just trying to blend in, man.
I think this pick could be great. No, that pick's bad. It's trash. It's so easy to trash on somebody.
Do you feel like your players have done that to you sometimes when you're trying to captain, you're trying to draft?
Are you trying to flame bait right now?
No, just like anywhere in your history.
I'm a little offended, to be honest.
All right, 20 seconds left for Team Secret, and
I'm still waiting.
Not great options.
Mr. Carry player.
I'm saying that I against the heroes like Shadow Demon, I just want Morphling, like to lane against Tide.
The BSJ Morphling, you love to see it.
I'd love to see a Nisha Morphling. I don't know about a BSJ Morphling. Oh, Void, okay. Another
Void. Our big team fight ult. It could be a nice game. Time dilation is very good against a lot of these heroes.
Another way to be able to lock down the Tidehunter as well without letting him get out the Ravage, setting up this Invoker. You said you want to see an Exort Invoker. What better way to run it than with a Void?
Yeah, I wanted the mobility that went through Shadow Demon's ult, but also I feel that they don't have a hero that naturally sits in front. They have a lot of backline stunners, and Void's a hero that wants to go first, but he doesn't have anybody that I think sets him up for the fight naturally.
All right, well, we have our own guesses at what exactly went on during that drafting phase, but I hear soon we're going to be hearing from on the screen. Well, he's overdue for an interview. Peter, your last thoughts? You siding with Evil Geniuses here? You think that the last pick from Secret just wasn't good enough?
It's close to call. I do think that Void is a little bit lackluster. I would say if S4 can get off some good Ravages, I think they can get this game.
I think they got the counter initiation, but who stands in front for Secret? I think EG is going to have easy targets to pick off, start fights with the Sven.
All right, well, Evil Geniuses versus Team Secret. Bulba's ready to go. Give us a little information on what happened in the draft, and into game 2 we go.
Out there is on the line in this amazing series.
Yeah, they go for the Void at
crazy.
the end. I mean, degrees of separation between Puppey and Cinderin. All right, we got Puppey to Yapzor, Yapzor to Cinderin, and Cinderin, of course, the famous double bubble strats.
Oh,
right. It's only a 2 degrees number. Personally, I'd want to be several more numbers away from Cinderin's strategies, but Secret are going to opt for it. They've got the black hole, they've got the chronosphere, and that carried him through an entire season of Dota. Can it get Secret a win here?
We'll have to see, wait and see. And, well, speaking of seeing, Secret spotted EG running through their jungle, trying to find a pickoff, was not able to get it. And that does mean that Nisha will be playing very safe and sound back behind that tower, not wanting to reveal himself in the least bit. So early movements out, we're seeing a couple of interesting switch-ups. Mid one playing on the Invoker, actually taking Quas first. So usually we see Exorts picking up.
He's in condolences, Yapzor. Give him a high five and yeah, just say, yeah, you know those bounty runes are, right? Shove off.
You're not coming here.
Go kick rocks, I believe.
It's the expression, definitely. So EG picking up 2 of those bounty runs. Crit able to get the better end of Nisha there. And already lean on the damage along with the gush, forcing out that time walk back. You can see the drums are pounding and heroes moving out to their respective lanes. Zai already starting off with that ring. Basilius, as YapzOr is going to do one of the classics that we've seen often, blocking off the opponent creep wave, so that way his creep wave will meet underneath that tower.
Yeah, he's got the old mystery build. He actually is just straight up TP home as well. And it doesn't cost Fly all that much in terms of resources, right? Some shadow poisons. And that does give YapzOr his boots though, so he'll run back a little bit faster.
Alrighty.
So you finish that last game as Sumail, you get through the first bans and Leshrak's still there. I'm taking it. I mean, I definitely agree with what EG's done, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. He looked fabulous on it, and already playing off against mid 1 on the Invoker. It's taking that Quas early and using this Cold Snap just to try and harass and mess up Sumail's last hitting potential. Does mean that he has a little bit less of the base damage, misses on that 1, and only 1 and 1 so far in comparison to the 3 and 2.
It's a good luck thing for Sumail. I think he intentionally misses the first 2, like last game, and then things will turn around for him, right?
Makes sense, makes sense.
You got YapzOr level 1 even rotating through here. Can't find himself the courier as it's walking back, but can still try and harass onto Sumail. But look at that positioning.
Yeah.
He is way far away thanks to the observer.
Knowing that that's the only angle that YapzOr could come in to try and make a play, and so just hides off to the side in a position where he won't get caught out. And simultaneously, you can see up top.
Well, there's also an observer right down where he just went again.
Oh.
So now YapzOr having some trouble trying to make an impact here. Of course, he's still forcing some movements and stuff here, and perhaps can guarantee this bottom rune. Will he even get it, though, is the question. And the coin says no. There's a high five over the Fisher. Team's in good spirits.
You'll have to see
Sumail gets a DD.
This is a great start for him, definitely. The other hero to talk about is the Tide Hunter facing off against the Faceless Void. Oftentimes people talk about Tide just being a really good matchup against any melee hero. Is this going to be a tough lane for Nisha, do you think?
I think with the Crystal Maiden, she's not the best support right in these situations. In fact, Puppy's even getting ran at right now with that gush early on, the telekinesis, and looking for a first blood here. One more punch.
Oh, and Crit going to pick it up as first blood drawn against me.
Yeah, and he's off to a good one again here. Crit, a stellar performance on the Wind Ranger. Gonna buy.
And you can see also keeping that Bastion, causing some issues with Nisha last hitting, trying to mess up his timings on it. Always very frustrating. Meanwhile, YapzOr again making this move. Fly is just shadowing him this entire time though, and knows his movement because of that ward place down. And Puppy again underneath the tower. S4 is just gonna chase him down, he's dead again. 2 quick kills for Crit.
Yeah, you're not getting a lot of help out of your Faceless Void. I mean, the guys had to go 2 points on the time walk as well. Doesn't have that nice free lane where you're just skilling up the bash and playing aggressive. Nisha, we haven't seen him struggle all too much this season. This guy has been the epitome of just like the perfect player. Seems to always give you a stand-up. It's not even a stable carry. The guy is just absolutely electric in every performance throughout the year. But he had a couple rough ones. Last game, he still had a good time. Obviously couldn't carry it through. He had some rough games on the Arc Warden during the group stage, and now this isn't really shaping up to be a great start for him. Even with like good lasts and stuff, it still looks kind of stressful to me.
Yeah, definitely.
He has to worry about the Disruption and the Chronosphere. He's worried about the Ravage. He's worried about a Rubik, who's going to have a great range at this rate if he gets his Arcane Boots into his Aether Lens early. It's going to be really hard for him to actually output damage during the Chronosphere.
Yeah, it's less about what's happening right now and what's more going to happen as the game goes into mid stages.
Yeah.
And so we do see S4 still getting a nice little start here for himself. 23-1, the top of the net worth, or rather last hits at this point.
I mean, he actually has 5 heroes on the enemy team that are going to be interrupting him, right? There's going to be a Yules on the Leshrak, a stun from the Sven. Whoever's outside of the Chrono can have some impact there, which means that his allies have to be perfect with these Chronos. It comes down to the Invoker and the Enigma.
And I love this from Arteezy too. He knows that he's going to basically have a one-on-one matchup against the Enigma, so just keeps on punching away at those Eidolons, not even worrying that much about last hitting the creeps because he knows that he'll be able to come back from afterwards and just kills them off and shuts down the Enigma's laning potential.
Good positioning here from YapzOr as the bounty runes are coming. Unfortunately, does he have the time? Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Got the Fisher, easy peasy. But is that 3 for 1?
that looks like they're going to be able to pick up more than a few of them, and also getting some more damage again onto Puppey. The captain keeps on getting beat down. 3 kills so far for Crit. Just a nice little spree if he's able to get it, and yes, it is going to be a win. As
that is the worst. Oh, that is the worst feeling for Crit. That's 400 bonus XP going to Nisha. The guy is almost level 6 now.
Yeah.
At 5.5 minutes. With his support feeding 3 times. The tactical feed from Puppey comes out. It's genius.
Can plan the entire top 3, definitely. But still, Sven sitting top. The CS afterwards, after clearing through those icons and the rotation moving. Fly trying to make sure that YapzOr is not going to be able to be effective with the rotation. Instead, it's mid-1 that might end up going down. Diabolic is out, doing a good bit of damage. Is it going to be quite enough, though? EMP drinking all the mana. GeForce needs it again. It's going to be enough to save him. Invoker at the last second. Fly trying to make it work. Needs another Shadow Poison out. And mid-1 with that quads is regenerating through it all. Secret salvage.
All right,
absolute disaster.
I'm just saying XP streak. That's all I'm saying. Where's the Sven? This guy's been alone the entire time. He's not. He just got 6.
Yeah, that doesn't happen unless Crit gets that spree.
It is so weird. And what an amazing chrono though, coming through the perfect moment. And the Edict damage post-death was not enough there from Sumail. You saw kind of tickling on a couple heroes, but
unreal. Well, 3-4. But it was 4 big ones coming out from Secret, and you can see this rotation that comes in the very last second.
Yeah, and everything was gone, right? Already used the Fisher. Now Fly comes through the distraction setup, and you pretty much have to accept that mid-one's going to be going down here, and then Big Poppy comes through from Nisha. And look how late the TP is. Mid-one had like 200 HP left. He's like, oh, yeah, no, it's good. I got it, guys. Let me just tank every bit of the Edict too. Tower's helping out as well, doing its part.
Well, very impressive. And going back to live in just a moment, we can see mid-1. He's feeling it right now.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Buddy coming through. And now that even turns the things up top there for Nisha, or for Secret, well, S4 and Nisha, I suppose, right? Because now S4 is like, why is this guy like 2 levels ahead of me right now?
Yeah, that rotation for a couple of quick kills, and that's the Nisha that we were all hoping to see on the main stage of TI. Saw S4 just walk away, still in a little bit testy down bottom with Arteezy. But with Fly nearby, it always has that potential for a disruption.
And Arteezy's still up there close with the Faceless Void as well, especially he's just going to keep on. Be a lot quicker clearing out these stacks compared to someone like Nisha, who also doesn't really have the sustain this early on to keep himself farming. He's very reliant on the lane creeps.
Absolutely. But they are going to try and clear through the stack with the help of Puppey. Meanwhile, down bottom, mid-1 was able to pick up an Invis rune. Zai still sitting close to his level 6, but not quite there as of yet. And the lift up on the mid-1. They want to try and take this guy down. Disruption, building up the Shadow Poison.
Timing.
Ravage combination, beautifully played by S4 right as the disruption ends. But YapzOr is there, 3 stacks. He's going to need at least another one. And it doesn't look like they're going to get it. Another Chronosphere lands down onto 2 of them. Can they turn this one around onto Fly as well? So trying to make something happen. Nisha very, very low, and he will go down. S4 manages to find that kill.
And that's a streak right back. Now heading towards S4. So we're evening things out here as the streak XP hops around. I mean, 268 gold for him as well. But man, the timing on that from EG was actually wild. S4 is in at level 5. Only the range creep left alive in the lane. He just moves in time for that to give him the Ravage as they're initiating with the disruption. That is the kind of stuff that that range creep is in deny range. I mean, that was terrifying.
Yeah, if you don't hit that, then all of a sudden this huge rotation, all these heroes, doesn't work out. Nonetheless, they managed to find the one on Anisha. Could not quite find the kill onto mid-1, who still remains deathless. But now EG in a position with Chronosphere down to try and pressure this tower. And, well, there's a TP rotation coming from mid-1. The Fissure to block off retreat, and Arteezy just wanting to walk away. He doesn't have any mana left over, and Tornado lift up. YapzOr has him in his sights. They find the kill onto the Sven.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about how Nisha's going to have a rough game. We should definitely say the same thing about Arteezy, though, right? Because he has to be worried about the Fissures, the Chronos, all of this Quaswex Invoker early on with the Tornadoes and the Cold Snap control. Very hard to handle. And Nisha now 4 points on the time walk. Not going to keep chasing. He'll let Fly survive. to end up leaving the bottom lane and securing these bounty runes for himself.
10-minute mark comes around. And it is going to be the trade-off of 2 apiece as Nisha not wanting to test too much with Sumail. That is something that we should mention. The panel was thinking that it was going to be the Exort Invoker, but with Quas Wex now, a little bit less damage to throw into that Chronosphere. But the plus side is that it kind of puts the kibosh on the fights, if you will.
Perhaps one way to try and slow down this early game for the side of EG, right? Try and delay things out, try and mess with things like the Ravages and the timing and all the synchronization that they're going to need to help set up Sumail for an easier game. But Exort, of course, could also just provide a ton of damage with all of the setup that they have on the side of Secret. So as the game progresses and he starts building in towards that Exort, it's going to be extremely valuable for mid one.
Well, 4-7, 11-minute mark. As it does look like, again, heading towards this mid lane. There's just been so much focus on shutting down each of the opponent's mids. But Courier going to head off, and S4 sort of doing the hunt. There's no way that he manages to get it, though, surely. So I'm just going to pick up his Midas now and start the farm wars.
Top of the net worth in the game, by the way. Been given a ton of space in that bottom lane. He didn't manage to take the tower because he TP'd up to help get the kill onto Arteezy when they were focusing their own tier 1 tower at the top lanes. So that is one thing that, you know, the typical Enigma game would have liked to have, but still very happy with it so far. And now that Tornado stolen there from Crit, so perhaps a smoke in the near future for them if they want to try and make a play with Sumail.
Yeah, it could be really nice, definitely. See if they need to make that type of a move.
S4 is just trying to bully up top here, just walking under the tower, anchor smash Eidolons, and put the threat onto Zai. And that brings the 2 supports over. Puppy and the App Sword is just say, oh, okay, everything all right here?
Again, playing very reserved at this stage. We got a
looks like they want mid lane
on as Crit. Gonna be able to find the lift. Pull back now. Ravage to land. There's a lot of regen coming in, but it's not enough.
I like the way they're using this Ravage. I think it's completely fine to just shut down one of these 2 cores early. If you can secure a kill onto Nisha or mid one, that's a great way to go for it first couple of minutes. Now, ideally, you're securing towers for this, right? Especially when you have the Leshrac.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're just a little bit too threatened from Nisha's start here on the Faceless Void and concerned about the potential rotation of the Chronosphere. Now, there they are going to push, though. Definitely like this.
Very, very bold. Crit. Position and fly back behind as well. Ready to interrupt. There is a black hole there. Tornado available, and the tier 1 tower going to be denied, but still taken.
They brought all of those big spells in, though, right? They have the Chronosphere. They have the black hole, so EG able to force rotations and still get a tower in hand. Deny, of course, still good for Secret, but space being denied away here from Team Secret.
Yeah, and that Tornado's super valuable to steal. Just to interrupt all these engagements. Nisha building towards the Maelstrom next, it looks like, and it seems that Secret want to make a move themselves.
Yeah, the classic 12 to 14 minutes, right? This seems to happen in most games we've been casting here at TI, is that each team reads exactly what the other one's doing, and they both smoke to the top lane or the bottom lane, and it's just, yeah, I'm taking your tier 1, you're taking mine. We agreed to just trade off.
Yeah. And then it opens up the jungle, you can go to the farm, and finished it basically simultaneous
Puppy
moments.
is so slow.
Yeah.
He went the double bracer.
Oh
he does
God.
have the boot gold now, so they'll be bringing those out. But Crystal Maiden, 279. It's a hard life these days.
Yeah, man. This is the all for my team. Just get my aura, make it happen. Bottom lane, Nisha sticking around. S4 is there, and they'll be able to force him back. Still 30 seconds until Ravage.
Yeah, Nisha playing scared, right? He's kind of baiting here. He's going to rotate back around the top of the stairs. It's like, oh, why would he time walk away if he has friends nearby? That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yeah.
They do have Radiant Vision up on the hill, though. Thank you. That's exactly what he sounds like, actually. So I mean, right now it's S4 baiting.
Yeah. And they're going in for it. Still 15 seconds away. The disruption, great combo. Puppy gonna be interrupted in his ulti as well. Very well played here as they steal Freezing Field, and Puppy just gonna hit the deck.
And they actually didn't have Ravage.
That's crazy.
Secret now, of course, having the perfect timing.
Oh, he's thinking about it. Ooh. Decided to go for the Ravage.
Probably for the best. Likely you're gonna get the follow-up kill by yourself because his friends are still here, but yeah, for bails.
Yeah. Doesn't want to take this fight anymore.
Too worried about additional heroes. They had all that vision inside, so saw that there were extra numbers. But now it's 15 minutes. You got to press forward if you're EG. You say, you know, Puppy's dead. They're scared. Let's get that battery and fly. It's just up there.
Moving in for it, definitely.
Oh, God, they're there.
Trying to interrupt. Can they get to the 9 of the bounty? Not going to happen, but mid one already throwing out the EMP combo. You will settle a dodge. And EG going to now try and assault the tier 1 tower, it looks like.
Nisha did get the top bounty at the very least. There's actually one more lurking there if he wants to try and go for it. If he reads the situation, he's going to see a lot of EG heroes on that bottom lane, but Sumail not revealing. Could think that he's there. And the line drawn now from Fly saying push out the top and the mid lane. And they're not going to care about bottom. All right, they're done. They're going to leave their vision. That's going to try and set them up for the next fight.
I guess as far as tower goes, it's one of the least important ones in the game, that bottom dire tier 1.
And they got the bounty run too. So perfect stuff there from EG. Another strong start. A 1K lead, nothing insurmountable, of course, at this point in the match.
Well, so at this point, do you feel like there's one team that's maybe a little bit in a better position if it does start to go late? Bulbo was obviously saying that he felt like this was a game that was going to go into the late stages. Are you worried at all? Oh?
No, I mean, they both have amazing late game tools, right? There's no question. We'll have to see if Yapsor can figure this out here. Things very close to the tree line here.
EG had that ward as well, so they knew that Yapsor was coming in, and it looks like they're just going to try and retreat. Although Tornado.
Peekaboo.
Ooh, that was close.
What do we got for our supports, right? We have a big save from Fly, the disruption, and then you have the ultimate position 4 turnaround heroes of the Rubik and the Earthshaker, very similar. Big reason why these two always come out at TI, right? It's hard to beat these two in terms of that instant, I'm turning this fight around, I'm winning this for my team out of the support role. Of course, still waiting to use that freezing field as well. Maybe gonna goad his team into a smoke before he runs out on it. Or at least go farm some neutrals. That's another great way to use it. Stack these 2 camps right now, 17-minute mark. Get yourself some gold.
Let's get a blink, baby. Make it happen. And they have been using the Ravage pretty continually to try and go for a kill onto mid one, but not an easy kill. Caps are right behind.
These teams are actually so similar to this game, right? It's crazy. There's going to be BKB concerns for the Invoker as well as the Leshrac. You've got that instant, the first 20 seconds of the fight, or not even, the first 5 seconds of the fight are so stupidly important for Sven and Void.
Yeah.
It has to be perfect. It has to be the stun into all the damage. It has to be the chrono into all the damage, the perfect setup. I got to get the guy who's got the save on the backline. It's so many big brain plays coming out here, and it should be a real treat here. The longer it stays, even the more excited I get, frankly.
And now the Fissure actually going to block off mid one for the moment. Can they find the split earth afterwards? And they will be able to. So they take down mid one. Just the wraparound coming, and Yapsor not able to save his mid player.
Yeah, take a number advantage here. Threaten with the Ravage, with the Soul Ring. Gonna start pushing the tower a little bit. And speaking of pushing, you got the Boots of Travel finished up for Sumail. Yules and bots at 18 minutes.
You can see Dota Plus favoring Team Secret right now. I feel like this Faceless Void could be one of those heroes that they just really like a lot, like Spectre. His potential in the late game. Yes, we're going into it, feels like. But we will see. 7-7, 18 minutes in. Right now, both teams getting into the next series of items. Sumail has his bots, push out the side lanes more effectively, maybe start to put some pressure along that top tier 1 or tier 2 tower rather.
Yeah, into that jungle zone. That ward's still surviving here for EG. It has given them so much information, and now a sentry catches a sentry, which makes Puppey perhaps a little suspicious, but he won't drop another. Didn't catch an observer. When you see the sentry like that, you gotta think do they have vision here as well? So yeah, he's dropping down some more.
They know though, and S4 wanting to make use of this early Blink Dagger purchase.
Another very aggressive Tide build, right? No medallions or solar crests or anything, just straight for the blink, all about the Ravage.
Puppey is there. They have an idea that he's in the area, but they don't have the Sven with them. Smoke breaks now onto Puppey, getting some vision, chasing forward. They have the Purge. Still looking for Yapsor. S4 wanting that +1, and they're actually grouped up together. Zai, he's got to be so careful. If S4 goes, he jumps forward. Ravage going to connect onto 3 of them. The follow-up coming through. There's no black hole in this fight. Can they get mid one afterwards? He will Scepter to interrupt. Puppey going to try and play interference, but big win for EG.
Yeah, and a good steal for Crit too. He gets the level 4 Crystal Nova with 3 points in Arcane Supremacy. That thing hits hard.
Still gonna have to back out again as S4 a bit too far. So having those huge nukes coming from Crit now, you can see the damage being dealt, and it was just that quick reaction and that ward. The ward you talked about in that bottom lane, scouting it all out.
That is the most value ward I've seen in a long time, I gotta say. And from an area of the map that doesn't necessarily get that much play, but it feels like EG, they forced it, right? By the way they're controlling the lanes.
Looking for the catch. Nisha gonna pop the BKB and just turn to fight. Puppy gonna pop the ultimate as well. Isn't it enough to kill off Sumail? I think the answer is yes. And now looking for Fly. Nisha able to make the move for his team, as they did not anticipate that BKB.
And instant smoke too from Yapsor. He says, I've got more here. I don't quite have my Blink Dagger, but I want to force a fight while we're at the advantage. Mid one chasing.
Oh, mid one has a feeling. Crit is going to be the one that's caught, and RTZ needs to get the heck out of here. If he is not careful, might get killed off afterwards. Tornado gonna find the lip. They're in trouble. Trying to get the time off. Wait, Crit's actually living through it. They follow up the follow-up stun, but it's not going to happen.
That's a little dance before his death.
EG lose 3 and back and forth we go.
Man, that BKB reveal could not have gone any better there for Nisha. Gets himself a double kill, puts his team in an excellent position for a follow-up, and now pushing the tier 1 mid with the Enigma. No real chance of defense. I can't believe that's where he's even coming in here. He's really in. He says, hey guys, they got nothing left. Just the black hole, and I guess he doesn't care.
Yeah, man, this guy's got Kraken Shell. Still all happy. Maybe try and bully Puppy a little bit here. There's a chance. He has Blink Dagger, the time dilation slow. S4 decides he does not want to run at people anymore. Didn't have the gush up as the time dilation. So, 21 minutes, 9 to 10, only 1,000 gold separating these two teams. And the BKBs starting to come out means that this is where the fights become a little bit topsy-turvy.
Yeah, feels like there's a bit of a worry maybe for RTZ, right? Like he's gonna start losing some of his space. You went a little bit earlier. They're gonna be man stomps off again. This guy, I guess the perennial scapegoat for EG throughout the year, right? S4 Doom, you know, the only hero he could live and win on kind of a deal. The guy had some pretty rough games, a lot of 0-6s, 0-7s. But TI time, baby. This guy's a TI winner. He's been up there. He's done this. You think this place phases him at all?
He knows what he's doing, definitely. Definitely proving the haters wrong here. Playing a fabulous tie game so far. Still, though, it is a hero that's naturally going to be a little bit behind in terms of farm just because he's not going for that Midas that Zaya's going for. It feels like Secret are kind of prepping for that later stage. But EG just getting the Aegis now, going to need to deal with a smoke coming from Secret with Chronosphere available.
Yeah, time for the aggressive plays again here once the Ravage is back up for EG. Until then, they do have to try and dodge exactly what Secret are bringing.
Oh, Secret trying to find an opening here. It feels like
they know exactly
what's happening.
They saw Zai rotating through.
Got to be careful. They're baiting one. They realize that Crit's in the area too, as well as Fly jumps forward and RTZ able to get off to the other side. They only find one in the Chronosphere. That's not good enough, ladies and gents. And now Nisha trying to control it, find that one kill. They have an Echo Flame afterwards if they want to use it. Zai also looking for that opening with the black hole. He has the blink. Can they find the opening? It's not going to be there. Delta Split, get the heck out of dodge. Sumail still living through this one. They've only lost the Shadow Demon so far, and Nisha just trying to run away. And Secret have to escape. They gotta get the heck out of here. Vision connecting again on the 2. Can they turn this one? Yapsor falls, and meanwhile, off to the side, S4 just runs away. They dodged it all.
At the very least, they did manage to save Nisha there. I thought he was gonna go down. Get ourselves a support for support. But I think it was the Frostbite that came through and interrupted the follow-up there from Sumail. So Puppy with the big save. Keep this area alive, because that was not looking too good. What kind of wards we got? We got 2 observers right now from a Fly. So gotta get some special placements here to keep control of this dire jungle.
And a scary moment as well coming from EG as Crit has that Blink Dagger done. And as you mentioned in the fight, stolen Chronosphere. This could be one of those moments. You gotta be so careful if you're Team Secret. 3,000 gold lead, but more importantly, cooldowns. Still working with them right now on Secret. They have 30 more seconds until Chronos back up, but around 90 until they have Echo Slam again.
Yeah, they just want mid, I assume, for EG here. Have to push that bottom lane first, but they've got time with the Aegis to still do this. Good observer ward here, still spotting what Sumail's doing, hiding in the tree line.
Looking for it, Zai moves in. They have the black hole available, but saving it for now. While in the mid lane, it looks like a jump through. They're still going to be able to find the one. Sumail looking like he's going to go down, but able to touch away. Puppey finds the kill. In the meantime, mid one dies.
All right, calling all reinforcements.
And this was the Aegis, so Sumail's back again in a sec.
Some long TPs down here, so they're even thinking about sticking around because they have the Chrono back up now. Maybe going to attempt to force a backstab here, but EG, they still like what they see with mid one being dead. So contemplating a mid push here, Arteezy. He's being so stealthy, he's not even using his Midas, which I know is killing him inside.
Yes.
But he waits for that perfect jump.
We all go through pain for the victory.
He's itching right now. The camp's just right up there.
But they're really itching
something
for
good.
The jump in as they catch out Zai yet again. Another round. Evil Geniuses keep on finding these pickups, and it's the vision over and over again. Those wards placed down, spotting the opening. And now EG walking high ground. They've still got Chrono.
The Golden Glove was worth the wait there. S4 has been incredible on this side. They're so aggressive with this Blink Dagger.
Careful, be careful. Where are you going to step next, Secret? Arteezy.
They still have Chrono.
Dodged out, keeping it for now. Both Secret and Evil Geniuses have Chronosphere. A little while left on the spell steal.
Who's going to have the better Chrono? That's the question. 55 seconds of precise timing. Thank you very much.
And the back away. EG managed to get some damage onto that tier 3, but really it was the tier 2 taken, and now Secret, no more tier 2s around. And again, it's every time it feels like it's Evil Geniuses having that vision advantage. BSJ mentioned on the panel that it was going to come down to who found the better initiation. That's what's been happening.
Yeah, we're not quite at that like late game stats they're looking for, but yeah, you look at those sentries placed, and there it is. Wards destroyed 3 for Secret, only 1 so far from EG, but at least they have the confidence of where to move, right? Because they know there's no observers when you're dropping that many sentries.
Absolutely. Now BKB.
Speaking of which, they're walking right under an observer, and they're being pinged out here. So Secret looking for that big play, but there's an observer sentry combo also spotting that Invoker in the mid lane.
Both teams under vision and not willing to take that fight. But it's all come to the tune of a 5,000 gold lead right now for EG.
I can't believe S4 hasn't died with the way he's played too.
It's been insane.
Yeah, definitely my MVP so far in this one. I had a spectacular game last one as well on the Centaur War Runner. But he's just the driving force right now. He's walking, he's marching towards that tier 3 tower, and he's saying, yo team, tell me if there's a fight. I got Ravage in 25. Sumail.
Looks like it could be. Gotta be ever so careful. The wraparound could come, although they don't have Nisha with them right now. So Nisha going to come on back. Puppey realizing I need to deal with the creep waves pushing into the bottom lane, and simultaneously CRTZ move up towards the top lane and push that one off of their tier 2 tower.
Yeah, this is a prep for rush time, right? You got the bottom lane way far out if you're EG. So you want to get that mid lane, that top lane, you want to get some wards in the dire jungle, and you want to get yourself all ready and raring to go for the big guy.
God, it's got to be said again, though, the problem right now in this Secret game is feeling like mid one. You know, right now only 200 gold ahead of Crit on his Rubik. It has been a very tough game for this Quaswex Invoker.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of ways to farm as the Quaswex Invoker other than kills, right? And the team fights have not been going their way. Inched it, so
yes.
Into play.
And we can see that Secret dodging away from fighting until that Chronosphere wears off, which it now at this point has. So EG no longer with that competitive advantage in the next fight. But the downside is that this Rubik is also as farmed as your Invoker.
Yeah, and he's just been, like, he's the reason why, of course. You know, we're giving Zai a hard time, but he knows he can't black hole unless he either sees the spell steal or he catches the Rubik inside. And then once the Aghanim comes out, well, then you just have to get the Rubik or that's it.
Yes. DD spawns.
He is actually close to that Lincoln though. So he'll have himself at least some option there with the BKB. He will have the potential. They'll have to go for the purge into the steal.
You saw there the stats from momentarily, and one of the ones that's highlighted again is camp stack. That was one that you were pointing out in the last game.
Yeah, geez, it was 23 camp stack by EG in the previous match compared to the 5 of Secret. Of course, it made a little bit of sense when you've got a Sven and a Leshrac, but still, they are materializing gold. They have perfected alchemy with the Alchemist band. So EG just very on today as they take the field.
Smoke up right now. S4 again. They spot out Zai. Could be the man that they want to jump on. Roche, 2.5 minutes before it's going to respawn.
Scouting Sunstrike there from mid one just to ensure that nothing.
Together, the jump for it. S4. He finds them all again. They can't come on. The follow coming though. Nisha's already there. He's trying to take that one. He wants to kill off Grit so he can get a black hole afterwards. The turnaround coming from Zai. Can they kill them all? The duration of it. Puppy chase for Arteezy. He pops the BKB, runs to fight, catches out Nisha. Can they kill him off in time? Yeah, throw with the slam. The second turnaround. Give him the okie doke. And Secret still seeing if they can find Sumail, but they're not going to be able to. With all those heroes dead so quickly and all the ultis used, the big win is that the thing that's crazy is there's no Roche even.
That Yules from Sumail stopped the follow-up damage as well, though. Absolutely huge to make sure that he wouldn't go down. But big stuff there from Team Secret. They finally find a fight. They get the big pick-off that they needed with that chrono. You saw him just instantly like, there he is. There's the Rubik, and Zai breathes a massive sigh of relief. He does 4,500 damage on the Enigma, and then 5,017 on the Faceless Void there from Nisha, as you saw.
And the buybacks came so
there
quick.
You go.
You talk about the double bubble. It's just back and forth and back and forth. Big team fight ultis, killing off that.
I mean, that's how good it is, guys. The double bubble. Synderen could win with this. It's extremely strong.
Oh.
Sorry, it's too easy at this point.
Too easy.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I'm not sure, but it looked like Zai might not have gotten his BKB off at the start of that one, possibly, which caused some of the turnarounds. Whew.
All right, now let's do it again. How hard is that, right? I mean, everyone's going to be taking a moment because that was a lot of spells cast. We got some big cooldowns, and so we're going to be waiting for a while.
And still no chance for the Roche because of the long respawn time. Like, if that happened immediately afterwards and Roche respawns, like, Secret could go in and steal it away. But not the case this time. Butterfly completed for the Void.
Yeah, he is very scary. You saw how much damage he was outputting there. Tends to be a very magic damage based hero because of the bash, and a like Maelstrom builder, but now that Butterfly is going to help with the pure right clicks too. Of course, just amplifying everything with the attack speed.
33 minutes in, and again, S4 doesn't have the Ravage this time. Nisha up on the low ground, starts to find him, gets the lift up though for the turnaround. Sunstrike, it's not there. He has Chronosphere, but he just didn't use it. And now Chase Forward finds the second round of it. They group apart. Nisha only able to find one, but it might be a good enough one at that. But the disruption coming from Fly saves his buddy life. Need to get the heck out of there. Sumail gets the Yule Scepter lift up, still lives through it, and now Puppy is the one who's going to get caught. And that Chronosphere was not good enough. Ravage is now back up. Chasing forward, Arteezy finds one. The Ravage again to interrupt, and now the follow-up. They've got Nisha over the Malefice. They can kill him off in time before he's able to get the jump away. EG find 3.
Team Secret tried to thread the needle there because they knew that Ravage wouldn't be up, right? They're just checking the cooldowns. They're like, let me see, Ravage, 150. We got Faceless Void, the Chrono, 120. It was there. It was ready, a 30-second window. But when you try and do things so, like, surgical like that for Secret and you fail, it's going to be very, very painful.
And like you said, it's that initiation. You fully commit into the fight, and by that time, it takes you those 30 seconds to get away afterwards. And that does leave open now another Aegis going into the hands of Sumail.
Well, they do have the black hole back, of course, for Zai. It wasn't ready for that team fight. That's another thing about trying to throw that needle. So they were completely reliant there. And as you can see, the end of that fight, another unbelievable Ravage here from S4. The start of the fight, when they first done Nisha, they didn't have enough lockdown. Not enough allies nearby to try and get that kill. But in that moment, yeah, Fly. Woo!
Part of the thing too is S4 just putting the team on his.
Sumail, I think we're watching a replay here because he just finished his Shivas, 35 minutes in, and the guys got the same stuff going on here. He is terrifying. The only thing he's missing is the level 25 for those diabolic edict explosions. And now if he gets stuck inside a chrono with someone like Crit, if you're going to be focusing on Crit the whole time, you're going to be taking a lot of damage if he manages to get that 25.
Well, the panel was talking about track at TI5. That had one particular ending, if you all recall.
Oh, he was there.
He was there. That guy was there.
Sumail guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do not want to keep on giving him Lesh, it feels like.
Yeah, Crit thought that was funny.
Crit appreciates my humor. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Ravage, 25 seconds away.
Yeah, well, that's another window here, where they do have the edge and the ultimates from the Team Secret. A little bit down in the net worth, though. Point out before mid one, still just on the struggle bus here.
Again, needing to get into those items. At this point, he does have the Aghanim's Cold Snap talent, but only level 16. And Nisha's walking by him at 24 right now. He's the third lowest level in the game.
Oh. Goodness. That's like last game, right? Crit was out-leveling him before, and he's out-leveling him again. The Grand Magus feeding the Invoker.
The smoke up. They have an inkling that somebody might be heading up top, and guess who it is? Mid one, trying to create some space for his team.
Sumail's hated, he's running.
Do they break on him? Sumail's off to the left. Meanwhile, Arteezy, he's going to realize that they're over there, but it looks like they won't go for the fight.
They all blink away as S4 blinks in.
Yeah, the Secret realize now.
At the very least, mid one did stick around up top, so he'll go for the next wave. That one perhaps a little bit oh, okay. He goes from the out of range tornado.
Yeah. Afterwards, sending out Forge Spirit, needing to play as safe as can be. Can't afford to lose anybody at this stage of the game.
Oh, we're talking 25 zone. And there's the big one. The plus 40 strength on the God strength now for RT.
Look at the buyback status. Only the Enigma and the Crystal Maiden have it for Dire.
That is terrifying. All right, Nisha's super close.
Yes.
Okay.
They all are super close. You got to get that buyback before you take the fight. Nisha also almost 25.
Before EG bring the fight as well. It's only a minute and 45 left here, though, on that Aegis.
Spotted him, I think, on that ward. Sumail looking for an opening here. They're also bringing in Arteezy.
Dude,
Nisha shows up.
Wards down here.
Oh, God.
It's been insane.
That other ward, Nisha, he needs to be so careful. He jumps away, though, realizing what's going on. They get a lift up. They jump in. They find him. They get him. Oh, my God. They get him again. He did manage to get bought back gold right before that.
But the greed, man, not TPing. I mean, you can't blame him, right? That was just a field TP.
But that means that they know that Sumail as well as Arteezy are not here, and they're going to find at least one turnaround kill. S4 moving in, looking for Yapzor, but Sumail botsed into this fight. They've caught Puppy with the splitter, and they find another kill. Off to the side.
Careful about this buyback, though.
Oh, not only that, they don't have Kurt right now. They can't stop a BKB black hole. They maybe need to find one first, and S4 could think about jumping in if they want to use it. Arteezy also behind enemy lines.
They can't black hole the after.
Risky here from Evil Geniuses. Take the bait for the jump. Tower that open. And if there is going to be a next Roche fight, EG should have the advantage with buybacks.
Well, Fly with the beautiful wards again in the same spot, creating two of the biggest moments in this match for EG to help give them this lead and drive them towards a potential 2-0ing here. They've lost the edge of the Aegis now, though, as you hear it expire. They do gain a BKB now on S4. He's holding the cheese, probably going to pass that off to Sumail. As you can see, the open slot's still there, and S4 will be happy to tank it up with the BKB instead. Now up to a 67% win probability, according to Dota Pro.
This is feeling like it's going to be a 2-0. At this point, Secret needing to come up with an answer. 11,000 gold lead for EG. The Aghanim Scepter just now completed for the Rubik. Those couple of huge team fights, the turning point in this one to try and move EG into
you want to see something nasty?
You
just hover over that spell steal. I mean, that range.
Yeah.
How do you play around that? This is such a hard game.
It's a freaking screen.
Let me just click Lincoln's here. All right, we got 13-second cooldown. Let me click Rubik. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem like a very effective counter.
This is going to be a problem. Unless they're able to find the Rubik. It has to be one of the ways to do this. Maybe even just chrono the Rubik and then you go black hole everybody else.
That is completely fine at this point.
Mid one still scouting out for his team.
TZ sending the Midas home. Off to the farm.
This is a DD rune spotted as well.
McCurrier helping out there. Sending it. Nice micro there. The Midas has done its job. Will be sold now.
But look at this Secret. They need to defend the top tower, or top set of backs. There's creeps in the base.
What kind of tools do we have here? Yeah. Potential 8th. Stuns up. Big damage from Nisha. He wants it all in this team fight. No buyback. He is a one and done kind of hero in the Faceless Void. That's how he's going to treat. This means that he 100% has to get the chrono off before dying. You keep the buyback, you can play a little lax. You know what happens. It's not the worst thing, but
he did take the backtrack cooldown instead of the
try to stay alive.
Yeah,
you know?
Everything to stay alive. But you do remember last game what happened. Nisha not being dissuaded from dying without buyback in the previous game, going for that play again. Just hopefully not the dying part.
Yeah, there might be some time, depending on if they can get outside their base, if they can read the fact that EG is just spacing for the Aegis, especially with Sumail showing on the bot.
And I guess the big key there is they feel like they have to all in for that Aegis play. And if they don't win the Aegis fight, you know, it's going to be really tough for them. And likewise, you can't buy back and just TP in.
Mid one is so scared this game, but he can't even get it farmed, right? Like, he's running around invis, trying to push lanes for his team to keep them in this and to create pressure on EG to make large rotations across the map. But he gets to hit 2 creeps, and now he's back ghost walking.
Yeah.
Like, it's not surprising he's only 2K ahead of Crit. When he is to give this kind of a game, he's trying to give as much farm as he can over to Nisha, who's now time walking into the tree line down on the bottom.
It's just so scary. You've got such ridiculous damage coming from EG after a stun, and they just keep on getting stun locked and killed. Pick off after pick off, 22-16, 42 minutes in.
Fly just said, hey guys, we can take that shrine.
Yeah,
just drew a little line. He's like, hey, I guess some free gold there. Why open? We can't allow a backstab to happen, right? If we end up going high ground. They're still waiting for the Roche, and oh my goodness, that was a fast spawn.
Very fast spawn. We'll see if they're able to spot it. Aghanim Scepter.
Nisha has decided that he can solo kill Sumail if it's not obvious, because he's waiting. You know, he doesn't need any XP. He would like a little bit more gold for his buyback, but he is just completely hoping that Sumail will TP down here.
But likewise, EG, if you don't see Nisha farming out the creep waves, might give an inkling as to where he is. Cataclysm is the pickup. This could be one of the big defining factors here.
The damage up to 350. I mean, all right for pure.
Yeah.
He'll definitely take it. He's not a full X-Sword Invoker.
But likewise, who do you like this Aghanim Scepter on for the Roche?
What's Nisha's APM right now? It's probably not too high. 118, oh my god, it's the lowest you're ever gonna see it.
Well, you see there as well, actually, Sumail, he TP'd back, realized he doesn't like it anymore.
Yeah, he saw it, he was like, I don't think so.
So who do you like this Aghanim Scepter on that Roche picked?
That's a good question. Oh. I get it on crit, right? Shadow Demon, I guess, sometimes? Can be all right. Oh.
There's a smoke up, looking for that opening. S4 could be the one that gets jumped on, but they would need a black hole, and then that opens up the Rubik to go for the steal play, and the panel is talking about it, this big frontliner that just, you can't get through the watermelon. It's too tough.
They have 2 of the non-Kraken spells too, but the Rubik.
It's just too scary. You can't initiate on him.
And well, look where Sumail is. I mean, that creep wave is going to be heading in here. He wants to be nearby because he thinks that Secret might take the opportunity to jump. But they're keeping that wave up, and now Fly pings it again. It's just like, maybe we keep this going?
Just the understanding of where Secret was going to come from, and holding on to the high ground.
Stack it. Yeah, they stop the Force Spear from getting in. So they have to Sudden Strike it, and they say, indeed. Roshan awaits.
EG with that are going to move into the pit. Going for the quick kill here.
We got the black hole. We got the freezing field. We got the chrono. We got the echo slam. Everyone has their moment here from Team Secret. The question is, can you get there in time? I can give you a quick answer. It's absolutely not.
And Roche is going to go down.
Do you listen to you?
They pick up.
Sumail's going to carry it around here. It looks like it is indeed Fly who's going to get it.
All right.
It's a nice Ags. I mean, you don't often get to get it, right? But 3 charges on the Demonic Purge. I do agree. I think it's better than the Tide one when you're rocking the phase boots, right? Because you already got mana issues. Spamming Gush on this giant like wave and torrent is a little bit tough. And the guy wants a refresher too, so.
Yeah. Need all that mana for other.
He's gonna need some mangoes at this point.
He's got the soul ring. I'm sure it's all fine.
He's done the math.
15,000 net worth lead in EG after having taken that Aegis, getting the Ags. Is going to be in a position where they can possibly try and push for the next set of racks here.
The comeback in the last game was virtually impossible for Team Secret once they got down like the racks and everything. And this time they're still holding the high ground, but even more importantly, they just have the better heroes, right? This is much more of a game where it can happen. Unfortunately, they still have the exact same problem in mid one. He's still not scaling.
He did pick a refresher here. So all of his spells double damage.
Cast spells,
got it
spells.
Gotta be careful. Alacrity onto Nisha, looking for their opening. Sumail.
You gotta watch that scythe. If Nisha jumps in here, he's gotta beat KB preemptively.
Yeah, it's really dangerous. And Sumail taking a lot of damage. Yule Scepter's dodged the hit, but the Cataclysm finds the hit. Was that just the Sunstrike?
Just the Sunstrike, just holding on.
Saving it for the second round afterwards. So that is gonna be the end of this push for now as they burn through the Aegis. But they will at least get 1 range tracks with one last from Mr. Cardi.
Yep, quick loss though from Team Secret on that.
And now the call is to head down to the bottom shrine. I mean, that's the thing, like, as can be.
You don't want to be the first mover if you're EG either, right? Unless high ground, you would rather they throw the chrono first, right? Put the pressure on Secret. Don't reveal yourselves as this Rubik, and only feed out your Leshrac with his Aegis.
And we do maybe see one of the problems that Secret have in this game, or rather EG have. That don't require a big initiation.
Yeah, but now we do have a BKB on Sumail to help replace that Aegis.
Oh, Chris, they realize he's there. Jumped on Spores in the median on top of him. Look at the damage coming out. Oh my God. They didn't stand a chance, and Crit looking to try and chase him down. They don't have buyback on the Invoker with the Chronosphere. Do they have any follow-up? They need the bucket to pull afterwards. And Zai able to get it onto both of them. The huge combination coming out with the Echo Slam. One more. Secret, they're doing it. Is it going to be enough? They're trying to take them down in time. Force step up to the other side. And S4 gets the cheese off. Trying to run back now. They still don't have mid one, but they forced all these buybacks. EG, are they really going to try and push for more now? Oh man, S4 with the big bad punch. And look at the damage coming from Zai though.
They just spent so much on buybacks and on some big heroes too. Crit, Arteezy, and Sumail. Possibly the 3 worst ones that have to do it. But again, the big counter to the Chronosphere, it's always the buyback. Nisha has 6,800 gold. He might have to go back home and buy the refresher.
They need to think about it at the very least. Force Staff trying to keep him alive. A second Force Staff just pushes him great. But they do have buyback right now on this Earthshaker. They got to try and hold at this point in time. If they can manage to hold things out, all of a sudden they're going to be in a much better position with those buybacks on cooldown.
It's back. There's no glyph. They're protecting.
And so much damage coming out from Sumail.
It's a bold play, right? But they've read the situation. They know they only lose to the Chrono and the Black Hole. Nisha again shows, still holding that gold.
This is one of those moments. You look at it, and EG, they committed buybacks for this. They get another.
And it all started with that pick there on the crit.
God, look at the damage coming.
Yeah, that plus 250 talent is a absolutely monstrous one when it comes to Anchor Smash, and then the follow-up there from crit to keep things going. Beautiful, Nisha. For Zai, out of the disruption. It's a save, but it's also a setup, as BSJ pointed out. And Yasuo, after 2 games on the Earthshaker, feels like he finally found himself an echo that mattered.
Yeah, barely able to get out. That break also coming on to the Faceless Void, so there weren't any bashes afterwards.
Mid one's like, thanks, team. I know, I got this, I'm coming back.
7,000 net worth lead, but again, those buybacks, the big deciding factor in these games, and they use 3 of them.
Yeah, and that's...
Oh, lordy.
Yeah.
Oh
S4 got the gem first, though. Passes it off to Crit. And we look for mid one as he runs around the map here.
And the scary thing is that mid one will eventually become a hero. He's getting closer to that late game invoker status. Getting level 20, having the Cataclysm and the Refresher. We didn't see that combination come out in the last fight. And even still, Secret were able to win it. It does sort of beg the question, if Nisha manages to find those Chronospheres, can Secret bring them down in time?
Also, I can't believe he's also going back for the Satanic too. And then he's going for the Lincolns he's thinking after, so Nisha just has full confidence in his first Chrono. He knows that they're also lacking damage, right? Which is the other thing, that he can't fully invest in the Refresher. I do understand that as well, or that line of thinking, because mid one's not offering a whole lot. He's just spell casting with the Refresher and the Aghanims. Same thing essentially for the Earthshaker and the Enigma. It's all just holding people in place for Nisha to bash them.
Goes back for it after picking up that Satanic, like you said. But
okay, so he went off the Lincolns.
Yeah, I guess the other thing too now is that they have more points up in Exort, so Alacrity matters more.
He needs a base Refresher too. He doesn't have to like carry it around. So he's got the 6 slots. I'm definitely down with this over a Lincoln's.
Well, mid one again, scouting for his team. We're getting closer and closer to that time, but still where anything can happen in the late game. Feels like we're going to be waiting for that next Roche.
Yeah, I can't believe it's brought down to just a 3K difference here in terms of the net worth as well. Kind of getting some heroes topping out here, maybe trying to put it on to some of their allies. So you don't necessarily have RTZ constantly hitting creeps or Sumail as well, right?
Yeah.
Sumail is closing in on the off-ring core though, and with his BKB, man, they are going to take these last racks so fast. It might end up being a mega creep game. We all know that doesn't mean it's over. That's for sure. Nisha now leading the charge here. They're going to some unusual spots. They're going to see an empty camp and say, oh, I wonder where they went next. They're playing detective here, tracking their way through on the hunt.
Now they have feeling. They drop down the ward up on the high ground. And the smoke's still a decent amount of duration left. Yapsor gonna be the one that picks up the DD actually.
Observer sentry combo here from
G afterwards. Could go.
Sunstrike was very, very correct. I wonder where they are.
Yeah. So you can see EG playing very safe now. With no buybacks on several of their heroes, does open up a large window.
Midnight Pulse. I wonder where Enigma's damage.
So much damage.
Midnight Pulse and Black Hole is absolutely ridiculous.
So moving into the pit. The Roche respawn time.
Minute and a half. And what does that do for our buybacks? That's the big question, right?
It's not quite good enough for EG. They're not going to have them by the time the Roche spawns.
They need a real long Roche.
Yeah.
It probably won't be game ending necessarily, though, with only a minute.
Did get that Eidolon damage also, level 20 talent for Enigma. So if they do manage to push down a lane and get some damage onto the tower, it's going to be quite quick.
Fly scanning with the illusions right now.
Yeah. Waiting for those buybacks to be ready. Not wanting to put a step forward if they don't have to. Down to just 1,000 gold lead.
Man, Secret are looking at stone cold in the booth right now. I can tell you that. No feet are tapping. Everyone intently on the screen. It's just, you know, the second that one pixel appears, I might have to jump and cast my spell. Stoic in there. Both sides.
EG now. Grouped together, mid one. The plus side of this Ghost Walk is that it's going to give you so much more potential to push out the side lanes without revealing yourself. Throwing those tornadoes consistently.
Yeah, he is. Has been playing a bounty hunter that essentially doesn't feed in this game. I feel like mid one has done it, despite being pretty low on the net worth and everything. He's done a good job of keeping these lanes in a good spot for Secret. It's one of those things that's a little bit thankless. But I think EG, without this Invoker running around and sacrificing himself, EG would probably have megas, if not the game by now. constantly tornadoing, staying off the map, and it can be hard to keep track of that when he's never showing.
Definitely. Everybody going for Aeon discs. Now knowing the potential.
Yeah, it's a good, very good call. It's kind of the pseudo buyback in a way, right? Of just like, I can't be killed instantaneously.
Yes.
Got myself another chance in this fight. But there's so much follow-up too that at the most you're hoping you just commit 2 big spells for you.
Scan. S4. I mean, there's bounty runs, but oh god. I mean, he can do what he wants, right? He's had an amazing game so far, but every step forward you think it's still about a minute away from his being done.
And the crowd has been pretty loud for these two teams too, but they are just, they are way like us. They can feel the tension.
A lot of tension in those booths. A lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and the big testament of what makes the top team is how do you deal with that? These moments.
Oh, we got a Forward Spirit and an Illusion if you guys want a real team fight here. There it is. It's 2-on-1. We're battling it out with the Forward Spirit, trying to make the play. Oh, he lives! That was amazing. You can get some more of that.
I love it.
It's just TI.
Yeah, that's true, right?
That doesn't matter. Oh! And the deny on the damage. Oh!
That's
this Illusion has done more than no.
He just died. Oh
yeah, it's okay. He denied the damage. It's fine.
Fair enough. So 25-19 as we near the hour mark. This game
already. Whew.
It's pretty crazy.
It's been good.
It has.
That's a nice one. Question is, are we going to get another?
That's a good point. Only time.
Yeah. Do you have a feeling?
You know, it really feels like it could go either way, and at this stage, wondering if the double huge team
I think the double Ravage is...
Puppy.
The double Ravage is kind of scary for me.
Jump, 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 finds it on the 3, not bad at all. Is it going to be enough though? They have the destruction, able to keep them on. S4 will go down, but Arteezy is the one to live. They buy back on the tide, and they just are going to back out now. But the BKB used from the Sven, and now Nisha, refresher used, but no mana for that Chronosphere afterwards.
That is a bit of a problem. Luckily, he's got a Crystal Maiden. So Puppy pumping him back up, almost up to that 300. Just needs a little bit more for the time walk, and he's all good. And we're online. Second Chrono ready to go.
This is one of those moments. You take down S4, he buys back, and now another window. Or if you can take that huge team fight out of the game, give Secret such a huge lead.
S4 does not have any wiggle room for himself, though. Has to be very careful with the arcanes and everything. Just can't mess up, because he's also very close, right? With these anchor smashes and gushes, he could run into trouble. Definitely appreciate the fact that he's gotten rid of the phase boots, right? Because he needs it when he's gone for this.
Refresher, very expensive in the mana department, only 1,100 on that Tidehunter.
So just the double pop, just has to ensure he gets it.
And Crit, the one to open up. Arteezy gonna get stunned. Nisha jumps to the front side of the Chronosphere, but S4 there with the Ravage. They show this one back around. They have the Chronosphere, and they use and the second refresher. Is it gonna be enough though? S4, he's in trouble. He's all alone, trying to run away, and is he gonna be able to escape with the BKB wearing off? The answer is looking like maybe, possibly. The Chronosphere was stolen from Crit to turn it back around, and now the jump forward. They want to take down Crit, able to save his off-laner at the last second.
That costs his buyback, but of course well worth it with S4 not having one. He is out of Ravage for 2 full minutes though, and you've got to think that Secret now should be able to take position here and get themselves around in the Roche Pit while they still hold the big black hole.
Can you believe it? The turnaround in this game, Secret in the late game are making it happen. They force out, over the past couple of minutes, 4 buybacks.
They've got the big jump. I mean, Bulba knows that's what it's going to come down to, and it's Secret in the lake. We're finding them. It's Nisha. Fantastic Chronos, and he's got another one coming up here in 55 seconds. But of course, that Aegis, I imagine they give it to him. I could see an argument for Zai as well. Maybe even Yapstor, but he's not. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Nisha, because I think if you have Chrono, these fights are just incredibly difficult for EG.
Well, it doesn't even feel like Secret are willing to fully go into the pit as of yet. A little bit too scary just walking in there. Got it, no Ravage. Nisha jumps forward and finds him. Blink away. Stolen time walk. Tries to jump. Tries to find. Breaks the catch. Is it going to be the kill? They're going to be able to get the one down, almost killed. One more right click, finishes him off.
Oh, the defensive black hole is not usually the one that you want, but they needed it there for Nisha.
And he stole it. They have it stolen. Crit has black hole ready.
With the Aghanim Scepter as well, he's going to get himself a big old Midnight Pulse under there too, and that could bring down the beefiest of heroes. But Nisha, he's back with the double chrono.
The smoke up coming. They're moving right into the pit. And do Secret know? They might not be aware of this.
There's a DD bot. Nisha, how bad do you want it?
They're leaving. Either they don't know or they feel like they can contest, but with double Chronosphere, you would imagine that they feel like they can go and fight.
They don't seem to.
Not quite in time.
They know.
And a little bit too late on the draw. Secret are going to give this one up. So Refresher, Aegis, Aghanim Scepter, and a cheese.
So that's 2 black holes, ladies and gentlemen.
"60 minutes in now, no puppy for 60 seconds. EG, in the duration of this game, have been able to take down 2 of the racks, but as of yet have not been able to break from Aegis.
We also have the Aghanim's picked up for Sumail too.
All right, Nisha thinking about jumping. He has no vision right now. No vision at all. But they're down on the low ground. Does he spot them out? Not quite. They're behind some trees. And he spots them. He gets Nisha. Soul Catcher already out, looking for the follow-up. Is it going to be? The break. He's in trouble. It's a slowdown. The second one. Nisha going to get caught. Nisha going to be killed. He has 100 seconds away. Now mid one trying to run out of their S4. He has a Ravage back up in a second as well. But they can't quite find him as of yet.
Size out of there. He's going down to the wave. No one's in the base.
Look at this. EG, the tier 3 tower.
We have the black hole. We have the refresher. We have the chrono.
They have a moon chart on Sven. Gold lead right now for EG.
Just when it's looking like Secret have figured this one out and gotten those big team fights, it goes right back the other way. The jump is there from S4.
Still a ton of duration left on that black hole for Rubik. They haven't even had to use it yet. And you see the swing back and forth it goes. Back to just about 50-50, 62 minutes in.
Icebox having some trouble up there in the booth. He's sliding it left and right, trying to read what's happening.
And you see there,
but it's an enigma.
Oh. Up on the high grounds.
There's no time for replays. Things are far too dangerous right now. I appreciate this production because you never know. There's one moment.
Notice.
Especially when S4 blinks into a creep wave.
Jump forward, finds 2. That's a good 2 to get, but the Disc already proc crit limited through this one. Trying to find the follow-up. It's going to be there. They take that spot. They are going to awesome. It's Sumail. They find the finish. The black hole comes down. Also for TZ, it's not enough. They're trying to run away. Is it going to be enough to break? Catch the control. He walks out of there, but now what more can you say after a game like that?